All right, we are live. Welcome, welcome. We're hoping today I wouldn't usually do Flat Earth days kind of back to back. I did one on Thursday and one today. But we're hoping for a special guest that would be very interesting to talk to. So we made an exception, and we'll be hoping that they come. Who knows that they arrive? Which would be excellent. If not, it's not the end of the world. We'll just do normal debate. No, it's not free. It's actually somebody who would be good faith. It is not free. Exceptions, my theist. Indeed, that's the case. Now I'm a theist because of exceptions. You know it. Yes, everybody's early. We just started like 30 seconds ago. Oh, you think David Weiss would be good faith? Oh, you sweet summer child. I actually slept well last night. I didn't sleep long, but I slept well. And I think it's because my cat wasn't a nightmare, which is good. If the Earth ain't flat, then there's no container to hold the pressure gas. Bro, it's true. It's true, actually. You got me there. I'm a flat earther now because there's otherwise no pressure to hold the flat gas. Oh, sorry for the yawns, everybody. I know I'm probably triggering yawns, everybody. Peter, you're on your honeymoon in Scotland and you're watching? Peter, go enjoy your honeymoon. Unless you're watching with your spouse, in which case it can be like a joint activity, but go, what are you doing? Oh, you just got done touring? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe his spouse is calling in. All right. Well, we will, let's see. Do we have any guests up? Oh, by the way, I finally blocked Free. I blocked him finally because he was, you know, kind of being rude over DMs. So we blocked him. And my life will be that much better because of it. All right. We have our first guest coming up in just a moment. Let's talk to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, how's it going?
Yo, yo.
How is it going, my man?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Ezekiel, what shape do you think the Earth is?
What age?
What shape?
Yeah, so I think it's pretty flat. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
How do you figure?
Well, if you look at the mountains on Earth, if it was circular, wouldn't the mountains bend?
I don't understand the question. What do you mean bend?
Like, okay, think about how mountains are. They're jaggedy, they're straight up, and it's like if you were to build Legos on a flat ground. Now, if it was any type of round, that wouldn't make any sense.
Why not?
Because wouldn't the mountains bend too in a sense? Wouldn't they be lopsided in a sense?
Why would they be? I mean, like, just imagine like sticking a piece of Play-Doh to a basketball. Why would it be lopsided?
Well, yeah, the Play-Doh would be lopsided, wouldn't it be?
Why? You could make it like, you could like shape the Play-Doh into a pyramid shape and then put it on the basketball. What's the issue with that?
Well, think about this. If you have Legos, right?
Yep.
And you were to build some type of pyramid, jaggedy structure. Intimidating mountain. Wouldn't that structure be more stable if it was on a flat surface rather than a circular surface? And here's
Only
my
if
thing
the
too.
bottom was flat. But if the bottom
How the
wasn't flat,
heck?
if the
How
bottom
the
was
heck?
the bottom was contoured to the surface of a sphere, then it would be more stable on a
How the
sphere.
heck? How the heck can there be a giant? Think about this. Okay, you believe that on one side of the Earth. Explain this to me. Actually, yeah, explain this to me. This makes no sense. On one side of the Earth, there's a mountain, and on the other side of the Earth, there's another mountain, and they're both. It's like they like okay. Take like Seattle for an example. There's a mountain called Mount Rainier, and then you take like Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. What the heck? How can they both stand equally if one of them is on another side of the Earth? Like, wouldn't that be upside down?
Yeah, if you're standing on Mount Rainier, then Kilimanjaro would be
crazy?
roughly upside down relative to you. Sure.
You're saying that people are standing upside down.
Yeah.
How? What the heck?
Well, it's not upside down for them. It's upside down for you, but you're on the other side.
But how? But yeah, I know. But it's upside down for me. So how are they standing upside down? What the
Because
heck?
what's upside down for you on the other side of the Earth is right side up.
Explain that to me. Explain that mechanism.
So down is towards the middle. So even though they might be oriented opposite to you, that's because they're on the opposite side of the Earth.
But how do they do that? Like, what the heck?
Which part are you having trouble with?
Like, how are they upside down? And then people on the right and left.
Would you want their head to be touching the ground? Would that be more normal to you?
But how are they doing? Okay, is there any type of true northwest, east, and south in space?
I think you mean to ask, is there any true up and down?
Yeah, that.
Not really, no.
Really?
It's arbitrary.
Isn't that fascinating? That's so
I mean, it's interesting to think about, but like, I don't know how, like, it makes sense.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? I just think that's so fascinating that somebody could be on the other side of the Earth, and then, you know, they can just, man, they can be. I guess they're right in that sense. They're upright. Jeez,
Right.
that's what a crazy thought. What a mind-bending thought.
Is it that mind-bending?
I don't know. Like, what's that thing called? Gravity?
Yeah.
What the heck even is that?
It's a force.
That's crazy, though. Isn't that wild?
I mean, it's no more wild than like magnets.
That's crazy. Yeah, God definitely must exist. Yeah.
Okay, but what does that have to do with the shape of the Earth?
No, I think it just shows that there's an intelligent designer.
Okay, but you agree the Earth is a sphere?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. What do you think it is?
It's a sphere.
What is it? What is that?
A ball?
No, I know, but like, what's like what does that look like on Earth?
You've got to be trolling me, Ezekiel.
No, obviously I know what a sphere is, but like, what is that? Is the Earth flat and then there's a sphere above it, like a firmament, or would you say that it's like a whole? It's like literal.
You've seen a globe before.
Yeah, I've seen globes. That's great, but I just don't get how people are upside down. I think that's the thing that really tricks my mind. Maybe other people in the comment feel the same.
But they're not upside down because their feet are on the ground. The ground just wraps around the whole thing, right?
And doesn't the Earth spin?
Yeah.
Right? And which way does it spin?
Spins from west to east.
West to east. Does it spin like all around? You know what I mean? Like up, down, side, or does it only spin one way?
This is... Y'all, am I being trolled?
Bro, what? No, I'm saying, does the Earth spin does it spin all different ways, or does it spin only one way? Or am I tripping? Is that a bad question?
Maybe. It might be a bad question. Depends on whether you're trolling me or not.
Dude, I'm not trolling you. I'm just asking a simple question.
Look,
What's
it spins west to east. It spins one way. The whole thing spins.
I just don't know. Because if you think about it, like for an example, you live in Chicago, right?
No.
If you were to live in Chicago, well, like, let's just say you live in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And your name is Matthew or something. Let's say your name is Matthew and you live in Chicago. If somebody in Nepal, wouldn't they be? How would they? They'd be upside down. That's crazy. I just don't get that. It has to be flat.
I think he's trolling. I think he was giving us a hint. I think that he was giving us a hint. That was crazy. If that wasn't a troll, that was crazy. F, how's it going?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing all right. F, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Well, I do think that it's round, and I know that you only want people who are who want to debate the shape of the Earth with you. But I just have a little thing to point out here, and then um I'll let you move on. All of Flat Earth is trolling,
No,
and
it's
there are
not.
multiple ways. It is, and
There
this is how
are
it works.
genuine flat earthers, F.
Yeah, so let me explain
Then
what
they're
I
not
mean by this.
trolling.
Dr. Blitz.
Kajammer, how's it going?
Good, good.
Glad to hear it. What shape do you think the Earth is, Kajammer?
I think Earth is a geometrically flat
Is
surface.
it geometrically flat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
What does
but
that mean?
like actually in the picture, right? Actually kind of looks like what I think it is.
Mm-hmm. And is it floating in space?
Well, I think time is like string theory, and like time bends around the Earth, so it holds up the Earth.
Also a troll. That one was easy to read. Washi. Honestly, yeah, not even mad. All right, let's read some super chats really quick, and then we'll bring on our next guest. Hopefully we'll get a legit one. So we have $2 from C-Bar, as always. Thank you so much, C-Bar. We have 5 Canuck bucks from Reverend Nate. How do FLERFS account for the pole stars changing multiple times over a few millennia? Thuban players, and eventually it'll be Gamma Steffi. They usually don't think that that happened. They usually just deny that history. And from Chase Martin Physics, sending $5 to congratulate Peter on the marriage. Get off the live and go to your dirty dance with your new spouse. Chase, well, I don't know if you can send money to Peter, but congrats, Peter. And thank you, Chase, for sending congrats to Peter through me. All right, let's bring up our next guest. Bring up our next guest. Words are hard.
Hello.
Seashell, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Seashell, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Flat.
Okay, and why so?
Because I just think that a lot of people believe whatever they're told to believe.
Okay. So you believe it's flat because you believe whatever you were told to believe?
No, the opposite of what you're told to believe.
So you believe the opposite of what you're told to believe?
Mm-hmm.
So are you an atheist?
No.
Oh, but you're told to believe that Jesus is the Messiah, right?
Not really. Not even when Jesus was alive was anyone told that. And then even in today's world, not really.
You don't think that you grew up in a society where constantly Christianity is shoved down your throat?
No.
No, you don't think so? You think that
I grew
Christians
up
are the
in
underdogs? They're
America.
the rebels?
I wouldn't say that either. I just wouldn't say it was like
You're familiar
shoved
with
on the
like the
throat.
Crusades, right? You're familiar with the Inquisition. You're familiar with the
Oh
forced
yeah, they were
conversion
the
of
good
like hundreds
guys.
of hundreds of thousands.
See,
Sorry,
that's what you're
of
told to
hundreds of millions
believe
of people.
again. That's just more of what you're told to believe.
Do you think that those things didn't happen?
I think it happened differently than how they told you it happened.
So like the Inquisition, you don't like. How do you
You
think the
sound like the
Inquisition
type
happened?
of guy to say Hitler was an enemy. He was obviously the good guy in history.
What?
You sound like the type of guy to say that Hitler was the bad guy.
Usually, bad guys are the peoples that like, cause the murder of 15
But
million
he
people
didn't
or
do
so.
any of that. Oh yeah, like 60 billion people, and there weren't
Well,
even 60
15
billion of
15
them
million?
then.
15
That was a
million is
made-up
the number.
There's been so many people who have like learned that their name was on that list and they're still fine. They just made that up.
You serious?
Yeah.
What's your favorite number?
2.
Checks out.
Why does that check out?
You probably don't know numbers bigger than the numbers that you can count on your fingers.
Oh, so now you're insulting me because I think outside the box.
No, I'm sorry, you're thinking inside the Reichstag.
Well, I mean, you didn't you do sound like that type of guy, and now you're proving my point.
I mean, when you come on here and your first thing is, yeah, the earth is flat, and your second thing is Hitler was a good guy, like, yeah, I mean, that is kind of a crazy thing to say.
I mean, it's just true.
Is it? Do you have family?
Yeah.
How do they feel about your beliefs here?
Well, I try not to get into political talks with my family because I love them and don't want to fight with them. But other people, a lot of people actually agree with me nowadays.
I don't know if that's true.
And
Anyway,
the people who don't, I can't
bye,
blame
Seashell.
them because it's pushed out.
Yikes.
How are you, bro?
CLB, how's it going?
How you going, man?
I'm doing all right. CLB, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Wait 1 second. How old are you?
32.
Okay, nice. I think it's an oval.
Okay. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, like it's not completely flat. Like it's not a complete. It's an oval.
It's an oval.
Like
okay.
Yeah.
But you don't think it's a sphere or spherical or spheroidal even?
Like, you know when you look down,
Mm-hmm.
and in the morning, and sometimes it gets rock hard.
Mythical Gold Art, how's it going?
Oh, very good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. What shape do you think the Earth is?
I know it's flat.
Okay. Now, knowledge usually comes with reasons to have that belief. I know the sun will rise tomorrow because, I've had experiences of the sun rising every day in the past. So what are your reasons for holding that belief?
So you have something that's called stationary water, right?
Yeah, I mean, sure. If you have water in a cup.
In a cup, in a bath, in a lake, on the sea, ocean. It's all stationary,
the sea
right?
is never stationary, right? Even large
kind
lakes
of-
are never stationary.
I mean, you know what I want to say. It's not like a waterfall. You just you see the lake and it just
sloshes
stays.
around, right?
I mean, the lakes don't have tides. The sea
Well,
does.
big lakes
But
do,
in
but yeah,
general,
sure.
But they don't go anywhere. They don't go through the sink and just go somewhere. They just stay
sure.
there.
The lake isn't, well, okay, some lakes have rivers, but I get what you mean, sure.
Okay, so all of us have probably experience of standing on a mountain and watching the lake in its entirety, right?
Well, I have that experience, but you'd be surprised how few people do. But yeah, sure.
Okay, but you know what I want to say. So like there's like a huge surface of water, which we call the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it in its entirety, like you see all the edges, you see all the sides, you see the complete thing on the surface. Does it look flat or it's round?
I mean, it can definitely look flat.
It can, or it does look flat.
Well, I mean, like, if you get out some measuring equipment, it won't look flat. But if you're just looking with like your eyeballs, yeah, it definitely will.
No. I won't agree. Like, you're just assuming now if you do some measuring,
Mm-hmm.
and people are measuring and they are finding out it's flat. But what am I saying? I mean, like, is it round?
Like,
is it a ball?
You can do measurements, and there's a guy
like
on TikTok who does these measurements on live streams, where you can just check that a marker that you place in a lake a mile away is 8 inches lower than the marker, or it appears 8 inches lower than it actually is, right? You can just check this. This is a thing that you can do with precision measuring devices.
And you have the ones that are saying that you can see Chicago from 70 miles across the lake. Which
well, no, I mean, usually they say 57 miles or 60 miles, but yeah, I mean, those are these two statements are not incongruent with each other.
No, but you have both. You have people that are saying these are the measurements proving this, and you have people saying these are the measurements.
So what I'm telling you is that when you actually do measurements, like with precision instruments, you actually make sure to level out all your variables and everything. What you find is that the Earth measures curved. Now, it definitely looks flat, and there can definitely be phenomena, like atmospheric phenomena, that can make it look strange. But when you actually do proper measurements, you use theodolites, you use laser levels or whatever, you will find that the Earth actually measures curved. And the guy that you should look up, if you don't know about this guy, you should look up a man named Baron Rutledge. He's a surveyor by trade. That's his day job. And he just does this all the time on live streams. He goes and he takes his measuring devices and he does precision measurements, repeated measurements over and over again. And then he takes averages of measurements and, does all of the things that you should do to get accurate data. And it always matches the shape of the Earth being a sphere.
Let me ask you something. Is the rotation the speed of
Hold on, let's not pivot. Let's not pivot.
I just wanted to ask you a question. It's about.
But you're changing topics. The rotation of the Earth is unrelated to the shape of the Earth.
Yes, but I'm asking you: is it the same at every place?
The rotation of the Earth is unrelated to the shape of the Earth. I'm not going to let you pivot.
Okay. Let me ask you this:
why is it that when you take a theodolite and you find the local vertical using a theodolite, which you can do using a plumb bob, and then you stick your crosshairs straight out, orthogonal, 90-degree angle to your local vertical, that when you look at something that is in the water a mile away, it appears 8 inches lower? Why does that happen?
I do not believe that happens just as much as I don't believe.
There's a guy that does it on live streams, like every single, or like several times a week. He has videos of himself doing it over and over again. You can go watch them.
Yes, and there's
in fact, do you want to watch it right now? We can pull it up.
I can watch it right now. But it's wait. Can I finish? Can I say something, please?
Yeah, sure.
Like there's a guy. There was a live broadcast of landing on the moon, and I do not believe in that fairy tale.
Okay,
I do not.
So to be clear, you just don't believe your lying eyes. Is that what you're telling me?
I do not believe in stupid things like that they flew 25,000.
You don't believe that like this random guy who lives in I think he lives in Tucson. You don't believe that he's like. You think that he's like in on the conspiracy trying to lie to you? You think that he's trying to lie to you?
Wait. 25,000.
You know what's funny? He actually hosts live streams where he teaches flat earthers how to make these measurements.
And let me ask you this again. Do not go with the pivot thing.
But are you about to pivot? Because then I will go with the pivot thing.
Why are you so? What's the matter with you then? I'm asking you a simple question.
If your rebuttal is merely "I don't believe you" when I present you with evidence that you could check yourself, with evidence that is available online for free. You can watch it
And I
yourself.
can
You can
do
see
that.
him do
And
it
I-
live.
And I can do that for countless other people who are like zooming
do
and
it.
showing.
Show me a single
I
surveyor
can.
that comes to the same that comes to the opposite conclusion.
I can. There's like
Okay, do it,
plenty
please.
of them.
Please.
Wait,
What's their name?
And then
What's their name?
let me. I cannot tell them out of
Oh,
my
so
mind.
you can't tell me that there's plenty of them.
There is plenty of them. I
Oh,
don't
so,
know their.
but you can't name any of them? Is that what you're telling me?
Wait, man. Wait. Don't be so soggy. Look,
Salty?
There is-
that or did you say salty or soggy?
whatever. So there is the line when you go on the sea, when you go on the on the beach, and the sun leaves the trace on the water for tens or who knows how far away, like 20, 30, 50 kilometers, the sun ray stays on the surface. How is that possible if the surface curves?
Cool, that's a deflection. Are you going to answer the question of why measurements
Oh,
appear
man.
8 inches
Man,
lower
man,
when your
man.
measuring device is a
Wait,
mile
man,
away?
Man, answer the question. What
I'm
would
sorry,
be?
I'm not going to let you pivot.
Dude, you're in the corner. Do
I'm
you
in the
understand
corner.
that?
You keep running.
Yes.
I mean, so
No,
look,
you are in
I've
the
put
corner.
you in the
I
corner, but
asked
you're just dodging.
I asked-
You're
No,
running
no.
out of the corner. You're running away. You won't
Dude.
answer the question. You won't
Do you
answer
listen to
or
yourself?
engage with the evidence.
Do
Do you want me to show
listen
it to you? I can show it to you if you want.
I do not. This is the something that everybody knows.
This is the something that
Explain-
everybody knows. This is like
Yes.
I'm just telling you about a surveyor. Why do you reject like good measurements? Why are you
I'm
saying,
telling-
yeah, I don't care about
No,
good
no, I'm
measurements.
asking
I
you.
just want to
I'm
look at
asking
things
you.
with my eyeballs.
Dude, what is wrong with you? Seriously. I'm
I
asking
could ask you the same thing. We're
what
talking
is
about precision measurements made by professional surveyors, and you're saying that's fake. I want to talk about what my eyeballs do.
No,
Like,
dude. You're talking about like
Why are
what
we
is that?
dismissing the precision
Why are we
work of a
dismissing
professional?
NASA? Why are we dismissing NASA?
We're not talking about NASA. We're talking about just a random
But they're
surveyor.
liars as well.
We're not
But
talking
they are
about
bigger
NASA.
liars. But they are liars as well.
I don't care. We're not talking about
asking
NASA.
you.
Why do
No,
you keep
but I'm
deflecting?
asking you. No, you are deflecting.
I'm
You are
deflecting. I'm trying to keep you on the same
multiple times.
exact
Multiple
topic.
times. No. I ask you. I ask you. Very simple thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does the lake, from the above, looking from the mountaintop, look like a flat, look like a mirror?
And that's
you're
what-
saying,
and I answered.
but
I answered.
but
With your eyeballs, it looks flat. With precision measurements, it does not.
It is flat with precision measurements as well.
Well, that's funny
Yes,
because
it's-
Baron Rutledge,
not-
surveyor,
it's not funny,
whose
it's the truth.
day job is to make precision measurements of the ground and of water,
So
says
what should
otherwise.
be the reflection? So what should be the reflection? Since
It depends
since
on the
the
size of
sea-
the. It depends on the size of the Earth. But anyway, are you going to keep dodging, or are you going to actually engage with the evidence that's
dodging.
available?
You are dodging, dude.
I'm dodging.
And let me
I'm
ask
just
you-
trying to
yes,
get you to
let me-
engage with the evidence that Baron Rutledge has.
and fake gravity, whatever. So
What does this have to do with gravity? Nobody brought up gravity. Coke
Yes,
Carter, bro. This is just a
I am-
measurement using a theodolite. Do you know what a theodolite is?
yes, but I'm bringing gravity because it's fake as well.
Do you know what a theodolite is?
Do you know what gravity is?
Cool deflection. Do you
Can
know
you
what a theodolite is?
Can you tell me who proved gravity
Do you know
ever?
what a theodolite is? Cool deflection.
Dude, I'm holding. There are 3 persons holding 3 balloons.
Do you know
Once
what a
they let
theodolite
me
is?
go, where did they go?
Do you know what a theodolite is? Is this a word that you've ever heard before? Like, I understand. Look, I understand that like it's possible you've never heard the word before because English isn't your
No.
first language, and that's fine. Kudos to
No,
you to speaking
no.
more than one
I
language. But like, if you
understand.
don't know what one
I
is, I can
understand.
explain.
No, I can understand.
So what?
that you
So
don't
what's a
understand.
theodolite?
Why
You know?
would I answer your questions when you don't want to answer mine?
So you don't know what a theodolite is?
What is wrong with you, dude? Do you
Well, it just
understand
seems
what
like
is
you're
wrong?
incapable of having a, engaging conversation about the actual
So this is
high
what you
precision
do.
evidence that we have.
High precision, yes, they with high precision they landed on the moon and they were riding
You
the
keep
boogie.
deflecting, bro.
Where
do you
did
keep
they catch the
deflecting?
boogie, bro? Because you are defending bunch of lies. Do you
And so you're
understand
deflecting
that?
because you don't
It's
like what you hear?
laughable.
Is that what I'm hearing?
It's laughable what you're doing, man.
So
It's laughable.
Hey, do you
I'm
wanna-
asking you a simple
let's watch
question.
something.
I'm asking you a simple question. Is the rotation, the speed of Earth's rotation the same everywhere?
So this is Lake Pleasant. This is Baron Rutledge. It's Baron Rutledge's account. It's a local lake. This is that's the target that he's going to try to see. Here's a good look at the plate level as well as the 12 min vial. So it's level. He's now measuring the height from the nail to the CL of the target. He's measuring the height to the nail. Does 61 inches sound fair? Yeah, I think 61 inches sounds fair. Before I forget, here are my coordinates for the target. Those are his exact coordinates. Let's speed this up a little bit. Here I set another nail. I'm careful to set it below the water surface. This is an auto level, like a wild RD2. It's difficult to buck in an instrument 1 mile away. Here we have sorry, it's a little bit too fast now. Here we have 61 inches as well. So the target and the viewing device are both exactly 61 inches above the surface of the water. Those are his coordinates. Now he's going to look through and see, well, what is he, where are his crosshairs? Oh, so, okay, so there are his crosshairs, right? Oh, look at that. Why are his crosshairs so much higher than the target in orange? Why are the crosshairs higher than the target in orange? Tell me. You know why? He was pointing straight out. The target and the observing device were both exactly 61 inches up. So why, when pointing straight up, if the Earth was flat, would the target not be exactly where the center of the crosshairs land? That's so confusing.
1 millimeter pulling that thing up, and
it's not 1
everything.
millimeter. He can even show us the level. The level shows that it's exactly level.
Can you tell me? Can you answer my question? Is the Earth's rotation everywhere the same?
See, look, it's level. Look how level it is. Look how level it is.
Is the Earth's rotation? Yeah, but the camera
We're watching
can be
the evidence right before your eyes, and you just can't help but deflect, can you?
I'm not watching any evidence.
I mean, we're doing it right now. We're doing if you're closing your eyes and shutting your ears and going la 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 because you can't confront the fact that your worldview is wrong, that's on you. But we're watching it in real time. We're watching a measurement of the Earth's curvature in real time.
There's nothing about my worldview that's wrong, dude. You're the one thinking.
Apparently, your worldview can't make sense of this data. Why is it higher than the red line again?
Why do you think the sun? Why do you think the sun is bigger than this place?
Deflect harder. When the evidence is staring you in the face, deflect harder.
No, you're the one deflecting harder.
Literally
dude.
not deflecting. We're watching a video proving the Earth is a globe. We're literally watching that right now.
You're funny, dude. You are very funny.
So what do you have to say about that precision, that precision measurement that we just saw take place?
Yeah, the same as moon landing, fake.
Okay, so like what part of this was fake? Did he not go to, was the lake not real, or what was not real about it?
Why are you not answering my questions, man? Are you yeah, I'm asking about your theory.
I'm happy to answer your questions once we get through this particular subtopic. But every time I ask you a hard question, you just deflect to something completely unrelated. So look, if you want to tell me what it is about that video that's fake, we can go over it, we can talk about it, and once we're done with that conversation, then we can move on.
So what it is about the people shooting
Don't deflect. What is it about this video that's fake?
What is wrong with you, dude?
I asked you a very simple question.
Why
what is
so
it about this video that's fake?
And I asked you a question 10 minutes ago, actually multiple questions.
Yeah, because you were deflecting, so I'm not letting you deflect, I'm sorry.
And you deflected.
Deflecting is not what it's called when I force you to go back on topic against your will. That's not deflecting, that is being very linear.
You're just proving that you are very linear, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a linear conversation with you. I'm trying to go in a straight line rather than having you go in circles over and over again, deflecting.
I'm not circling
deflecting
anything.
left, deflecting right, bending over backwards to dodge the evidence. I'm trying to take you in a very straight line from thinking the Earth is flat to knowing the Earth is a globe.
I know it's flat. I know.
So
the
then what do you
sun's
make of the
smaller.
evidence that I just showed you?
That's not the evidence.
Oh, what's not evident? What's not evidential about it?
Everything.
Okay, which parts do you so you think that all of it was fake? Do you think that he didn't go to the lake? Do you think it's not a real lake? Do you think the lake is built on top of a giant magnet that curves the water?
I know the surface of water is plane. It's
Okay, well,
flat.
the video I just showed you proves that it's not. So,
yes, and you can show me the videos from the Mars, which are fake as well.
Why are
and
you
can show
deflecting?
me-
What is fake about this video?
I'm not. No, I'm
What
not
is fake
deflecting,
about this video?
dude. I can show you. I can show
What
you
is fake about this
giant-
video?
I can show you the giant monkey.
What is
climbing
fake
on
about this video? I don't care
I
about other
can
videos.
show-
What's fake about this video?
You do not care. I didn't watch the video, man. I don't care about the video.
Oh, you didn't watch the
because-
video. Should we watch it again, y'all?
Have you answered my question? Any of the questions that I asked you?
I'm not going to answer any questions that are deflections until we're done with this topic. So just to be clear, which part of the video was fake? Also, laughing like a joker is not a good look for you.
Oh, thank you. Let me ask you this. Since you believe in fairy tales, what
Sorry,
makes you think
do you want to try again? Which part of the video was fake?
like why are you so boring, man? Why are you so
I'm sorry,
boring?
it's boring keeping you pinned down when your worldview is collapsing before your very eyes. I know it's embarrassing and uncomfortable. I think that you should probably just look at the video and be like, yeah,
No.
it's not fake.
Let me
I just
explain-
don't
let me
understand
explain you
it.
something.
That would probably be a
Let me
good
explain.
move.
No, dude. Let me explain you something which you don't understand.
Yes, please explain me something.
Yes. If the surface of the water, if the surface of the ocean was curved, the sun couldn't reflect the light on the surface with the line tens of kilometers long. It would be
So
impossible.
are you telling me
It cannot be-
that the reason the
I'm
video I
asking-
just showed you is fake is because you don't know how to make sense of a different observation?
If the water was curved, the sun couldn't
Can you answer my
leave
question,
the
please? It was
trace
just a yes. It was a
on the
simple yes or
water.
no question.
No, you're not listening to what I'm speaking.
No, I absolutely
Then,
did listen to your
if-
question. I'm happy
if
to
we
discuss that with you
rose from the-
after
if
you
we
explain to
rose
me
from
why
the-
you think the video I showed you was fake.
From the surface, and we witness that the horizon
I'm
is
happy to explain
rising.
this to you after you explain to me why the video is fake.
Anything. I'm explaining you, dude.
I don't think that you could
You are
explain anything, to be honest.
Yes, I can, dude. To be honest, I can, because this is the
Then why
deal,
can't you
dude.
explain why the video is fake?
You are the one, dude. You are the one claiming that the sun is million times bigger.
Why can't you explain why the video is fake if you can explain me if you
and
can
looks
explain me things,
smaller.
right?
You are the one who doesn't make sense, dude.
Wait, I thought
You're
you were
the one
capable
who
of explaining me things. Are you not capable of
You
explaining me
are
things?
the one. No, it looks stationary. It feels stationary, but you are
Okay,
the
cool.
one.
Keep deflecting.
saying-
Why is the video fake?
No, you are the one deflecting, man. It
I'm trying
looks
to keep you on
stationary.
topic here. You keep trying to bring up the moon
Same.
and the sun and the reflections in the
yes,
water and the spin of the earth, and you're
the
just
fake-
running
and the
away as
fake-
fast as you
and
can
the
because you
fake-
can't explain
and
why the
fake-
video is fake.
And fake gravity.
Oh,
and
you
fake
also brought up
gravity
fake
as
gravity.
well.
That's true. Explain why the video is
Yes.
fake. It should be simple
Yes.
for you, right?
Fake gravity.
This is great. You can assert all of this stuff. Unless you can answer why the video is fake, you're just looking like you're losing the debate. And I'm sure you
I'm
don't
not
want to
losing
look like you're losing the debate in front of,
I'm not losing
2,500
anything.
people, right?
I'm not losing anything.
I
dude.
mean, if you can't explain why the video is fake,
if you can answer me a question before I ask you, you put this video way after I asked you a simple question.
Yeah, we were
Is the
talking about it.
rotation of- Is the rotation of the Earth
oh,
everywhere
but that
the
was
same?
a deflection. See,
No,
the
it's
original
not.
contention was that you don't think that precision measurements show that the curvature of the Earth is evident on a lake. And I showed you a video that is indeed the case. That if you were to make
Yes,
precision
exactly,
measurements
and-
on a
and
lake,
they
you
went
would find
to
that the
the-
Earth is curved. That is the
Yes,
current
and they
topic of
went-
discussion. If you don't
Yes,
like
and
it,
they went
you
on
are
the
free to
South
put on your
Pole.
running shoes and run away. But I'm not going to let you
Yes, and
deflect
they-
until you explain why
and
the
they
evidence
went
I
on
showed you
the-
is fake.
Yes, and they went on the South Pole and they filmed the 24-hour
Oh, keep
sun. and-
deflecting. Keep deflecting.
Yeah, yes, all of these, yes.
Does it feel
Pretty
good
sure.
to deflect over and over again?
How does it feel to believe in moon landing, dude? You tell me.
Cool deflection. Cool deflection. Where
Dude.
where did you train? Did you train with the samurai of the 1800s to learn to deflect all of my blows like that?
Your theory is based on absurdities such as gravity and galaxies and black holes and universe and distances and all of that bullshit. So
Cool deflection. What part of the video was fake? The fake
Is this the
laughter
best-
is really kind of cringe, bro.
is this everything that you got? Just one
No,
video
I'm happy to
show,
talk about literally anything you want after you answer which part of the video was fake.
and then, like I said,
I'm happy to talk about literally
Default.
any topic you want. You can even choose it, as long as you explain which part of the video was fake and why.
play the video again.
Okay. Start from the beginning. Oops. There we go. Starting from the beginning. Lake Pleasant, Arizona, Saturday, November 25th. This is from 2 years ago.
Yeah, looks flat. Looks
Yeah, it
completely
definitely looks flat, like with your eyes. Yeah.
Yes,
I
it
agree.
is
It
flat.
definitely looks flat.
Okay.
So now they're going to put a nail just below water surface so that they can figure out how to measure above the surface of the water. It will represent, did you read that? I don't know if you could catch that. The nail will represent surface elevation and provide a stable surface to measure from. So it's not going to involve any waves. They're going to be measuring relative to a nail. This is the target, the thing that they're trying to observe. There's the plate, as well as a 12 min vial. Now
And
he's
where
measuring
is
the
he
height from the
shooting
nail
at?
to the CL of the target.
Yes, and where is he shooting at?
Where is he shooting at? This is the target. This is the thing that he's going to be aiming at, or he's going to be trying to look for.
Where?
This is at Lake Pleasant in Arizona.
Yeah, but where is he shooting at? What is this? Where is he looking at?
It's on one end of the lake. He'll show
To
us
the
his
other.
coordinates in a moment.
Okay, but
So it's 61 inches. He's American. You have to be a little generous. He's using 61 inches. Those are the coordinates. This is the exact location where he is.
at the middle of the lake.
Well, he's on a tiny rocky outcrop. But those are his coordinates. And then he's putting another nail, again, right below the surface of the water at his measuring device. This is an auto level. Auto levels, they are it's a type of measuring device. It's the name of a type of measuring device. It's difficult to buck. It's difficult to buck in an instrument 1 mile away. So it's going to be hard to sight it, but he's going to do his best. It's also 61 inches. That's how high the eyepiece is. 61 inches up.
Oh, wait.
That's his latitude and longitude.
He has these things on two different positions, right?
Yeah, they're in 2 different places.
Okay.
The coordinates are different. They're 1 mile away from each other, actually.
Okay.
And now he's going to look through. So it's hard to see. He's going to zoom in a sec.
The red thing that I'm seeing, or
There.
what?
See that little tiny orange thing? That orange or that pinkish thing, that's the target. That's the thing that he's
Yes.
trying to see. That
Okay.
black line there, that's
Yes.
perfectly straight out from his current location. Which means that the target, which should be at the exact same height that he was measuring from, If the Earth was flat and the water was flat, it should have been exactly in line with the black line, but it's not.
Why?
It's like
Why
8 inches lower.
No, why would it be?
Because it's the same height. And if the water is flat and it's the same height above the water, then it should land exactly in a straight line away from the observing device.
No, but shouldn't the water, if the water is curved, shouldn't the water at the center be more up than the one on the side? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The reason why the reason why the pink target is lower. The reason why the pink target is lower is because the Earth curved away from where he's observing from.
Not from where he.
In fact, it's curving away at exactly the rate that you would expect it to.
No. If he lowered, yes, if he lowered the camera.
Wait,
if
to be clear, hold on. Before we move on, was any part of what I showed you fake?
Who cares if it's fake?
No, who cares? You called it fake.
No. I'm explaining you why this line.
So we agree it's no longer fake anymore, right?
If he lowered, do you understand?
Do we agree that it's no longer fake anymore?
No. Do you understand that 0.001% of an angle,
yes, that's why he used precision measuring devices.
No. Let me explain you this.
Precision measuring device called an auto level.
Wait. Let me explain you this. How far is this distance?
1 mile.
1 mile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me explain you this. First of all, like this camera that he's shooting with, right? He can go up and down.
This isn't a camera. This is an auto level.
Auto level.
Yeah.
It can go up and down, right?
And I don't know what you mean. It can go up. You mean like it's on a tripod, so you can make it so that it's closer to the ground or higher off the ground. Yeah.
Or one of the sides of the tripods can be lower or
it's an auto level.
I'm telling you this.
That's what it does. It automatically levels.
Yes, but it's
not tilted.
If I put a piece of paper under one of his legs, just a piece of paper.
Yeah. The device on top automatically levels. Even if the tripod is on unstable ground, it automatically levels the thing on top. It's called an auto level.
Levels what?
It levels the camera, so the camera is always straight. It's always perfectly straight.
It shoots perfectly straight.
Rather, it's the crosshairs are perfectly straight. The camera can move whatever, but the crosshairs are always perfectly straight.
And can you explain me this then? How come? When you have, can you imagine something? I'm in a helicopter, okay? And I'm watching with the camera. I'm watching the horizon with the camera, and I put the tape. Yeah, and I put the tape on the line where the camera is stationary. Okay, the camera doesn't move anywhere. It's in the helicopter, right? And I put the tape on the line where the horizon is.
What tape?
Like a masking tape or any kind of
tape.
Like
on the camera?
No, on the so you have the camera and you have the window of the helicopter.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, so on that window, through the camera, you see the horizon, and you put the tape just on the line of horizon. And now, if the Earth is a plane, not planet, they added T, so it's plane T. Plane plus T is planet. If the Earth is plane, if the helicopter, yeah, that's funny. Now you're funny, Salty. If the helicopter goes up, that line of horizon, if the Earth is a sphere, will drop down below the masking tape. But if it's a plane, it will constantly, no matter how high we go, the horizon will keep on rising.
Yeah,
which is something that is happening.
No, it doesn't happen. But to be clear, what does this have to do with the video that we're talking about here?
the thing is, like, I cannot believe that somebody, okay, I made this and then look at this because of 1 millimeter
He tells you
or whatever.
he does all of the measurements on screen. He tells you exactly what devices he's using.
And I watched.
He tells you exactly his locations. He tells you the exact date. What's fake about this?
And I watched. Let's say everything is completely normal with this thing, and I can tell you, I watched countless videos proving that as we go up, the horizon keeps on rising up.
Have you ever actually watched a video of a flat earther who made this kind of precision measurement?
I watched flat earthers
who do precision measurements ever?
No. I watched flat earthers, not flat earthers. I watched people on the coast of a lake or sea shooting things.
Have any of them made precision measurements?
Shooting, probably.
Have you seen any of them?
You're just holding with one precision thing.
Yeah, because if we want to be accurate, we should use precision measurements. Why would you want to rely on anything aside from precision measurements?
Why would you rely on people putting costumes and going 25,000?
Oh, he's deflecting again. He's deflecting again. Oh, he was backed into a corner. He felt his worldview collapsing, and he's like, no, they couldn't have landed on the moon. No, it's impossible. No, the moon landing is fake. Gravity is fake. No, it's impossible. Don't show me evidence that'll destroy my worldview.
No, I'm just gonna stick with this one thing from this guy and his precision measurements.
Well, look,
I don't want to talk about anything else.
I just want
this simple. I just wanted
to rewatch the video because you wanted to see if it was fake. So we rewatched the video.
Let's watch it again because that's the only thing that I can talk about. That's how simple I am.
Look,
I don't want this.
Clearly.
I don't want this conversation to be any more dramatic or any more complicated. I don't want to talk about anything. I don't want to talk about moon landing. I don't want to talk about sun. I don't want to talk about trace on the sea. I don't want to talk about predation.
Because you'd rather talk about anything aside from this precision measurement, right?
One thing. I just want to talk about my precision thing and my guy, which I know name, and he proved it over here, and that's the only thing that I want to talk about.
Look,
and everything else that you say is reflecting.
Did you call it fake? No, it's deflecting, not reflecting.
Deflect,
look,
whatever.
You called it fake. Which part of the video was fake? That's why we rewatched it.
Moon landing is part of the video that's fake.
This video is fake.
Everything.
Okay, which part? Was it this part?
Have you made it like, why are you boring me with this video, man?
Dude,
why are you boring me with this?
Which part was it?
Why are you boring me with this?
I'm sorry that your
you're
worldview
not.
collapsing is boring. Which part was fake?
Nothing is collapsing in my world, dude. I'm not moving anywhere.
I'm sure that's what the Romans thought after the Roman collapse started too. They're like, no, everything's fine. Nothing's collapsing. We're fine.
I'm gonna ask you. Okay, I'm gonna ask you one simple question.
Wait, to be clear, will this be about the video?
Okay, what do you want me to say with the video so we can proceed?
Yeah. Which part is fake? Name a specific part.
I do not believe. I didn't do the measurements. I do not trust the guy.
Okay, so
can we move on?
So there's not like a specific part that you think is fake?
Why are you so with the video, man? What's the video about?
Well, because look, they showed you all of the results, all of the measurements, all of the devices, all of the locations, all of the times, all of that stuff.
Yes.
It seems like it's pretty bulletproof. So unless you think that there's a critical error made somewhere in the video, everything has been presented to you. So you have to, like, if the measurement is wrong, if it's not an accurate representative of reality, then you need to show us where in the video they introduced the mistake.
Okay, let me ask you. It's because you are so boring. Let's consider this. It's real. Okay. I'm just gonna ask you. Can we continue now?
Real. Okay. So it's real. So then we agree that that water curves, that precision measurements of lakes show curvature.
No.
Oh, well then it can't be real because that's what this is showing.
No. Can I ask you something? Can we just is moon landing real?
you want to concede? You want to concede that the Earth is a sphere, and then we can talk about the moon landing?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, then what part of this is not real? I mean, like, look, the target is inches below
You're painfully
horizontal.
You're painfully stupid.
Like,
Can I ask
we can
you
all see
something?
this. Like, here's the target. Here's the horizontal. Why is it so much lower?
Are you sitting in a chair?
Absolutely, I'm sitting in a chair. Now, why is the target so much lower than the horizontal?
Wait. Can I ask you something? Is this an interrogation, or I can ask something? You
can
answer
ask something. If you want to ask a clarifying question about the video, or if you want to ask a question about some detail of the video, absolutely.
You didn't answer one question that I asked you. And you
I did actually. If you remembered,
which one?
You asked
which one?
You asked whether or not a lake looks flat from on top of a mountain, and I answered that question. I said it depends on how you're observing it. and then we got into this because now we're actually talking about measuring a lake with precision instruments.
No. Let me ask you. Since you said you sit in the chair, do you move? Do you travel in this? What you perceive? Because you don't believe in God, right? You're an atheist, right?
Why are we changing topics again?
Why do you want to talk about this? Let's talk about balloons. No, I want to talk about balloons. No, just balloon. No, I don't want to talk about football.
Well,
why?
It just seems like you're deflecting because you don't have an answer.
It's not that I'm deflecting. I do not. Why?
Okay, so actually, you know what? If you say, I don't have an explanation for why it looks like there's curvature in this video, then we could move on.
No, we cannot move on because that's fake.
You're right. We can't move on because you can't even say that. So then what? So then what's the explanation if you do have indeed an explanation?
The explanation is that this guy over a mile had this thing one part of a millimeter wrong, and that's how it is.
So, okay, so this is called an auto level. Do you know what an auto level is? It's an auto level, so we can just Google this. An auto level is a surveying tool that uses a self-leveling compensator to provide a perfectly horizontal line of sight. So it doesn't matter if it was slightly misaligned or whatever. An auto level provides a perfectly horizontal line of sight because it uses a self-leveling compensator. So try again.
Why are you insisting on this? I ask you, do you move somewhere?
So
while you're sitting
when you say your answer that it's slightly angled, and then I tell you, nope, your answer is wrong. Well, now what?
Well, what do you want me to say?
You could say, I don't know why. I don't know why it's wrong, but I feel it has to be wrong to preserve my worldview. That would be something that you could say.
I'm not. No, you are preserving your fake world, dude. Do you understand?
I'm showing you evidence. We have been talking about evidence this whole time.
You're not showing me anything. When I look at the lake, it is flat.
Oh,
I cannot see.
Your eyes are more precise than an auto level. Is that what you're telling me?
Obviously.
Oh, eyes. Famously very precision instruments. Eyes definitely can see things, you know, more than a half a mile away with any degree of accuracy. Oh, eyes. Things that we famously have to wear corrective lenses for.
Have you seen the show? I'm not sure what was the it's like a night show or something, where the guy presents the picture of someone taking from across Lake Michigan off Chicago skyline.
I've seen that. Now, what is wrong with this?
He says it's a mirage because it's impossible to see buildings from across the lake.
Why are you deflecting? Again, we can talk about it once we're done talking about this video.
Dude, have you seen it?
We can talk about that once we're done talking about this video. We have to fit. I don't know why you want to get 40% of the way through the conversation and then just change the conversation. It's kind of weird. It's actually like very unnerving.
How can you see a Chicago skyline across Michigan Lake if according to the curve of Earth and calculator, it should be below. How can you see it?
That would be a great question that I'd be happy to answer once you explain this evidence that's in front of your own eyes.
Dude,
there's the
do you
Joker laugh
understand?
again.
Yes, because I am. Do you understand that we cannot play, that both
Because
of us
you
can
are
play
the Joker?
Yes.
What?
I am.
You're the Joker. Want to see how I got these scars?
Exactly.
Kind of cringe.
Man. It's not.
I mean, a little bit.
Says you, who believe in fairy tales of landing on the moon.
Yes, the fairy tales of the target being 8 inches below the exact perfect horizontal of an auto level.
Landing on the moon.
You're right. This observation is a fairy tale. This is actually all just a dream. We're all hallucinating that we watched this video debunking the flat Earth together.
That you see those dots on the sky and you believe that they are tens of millions of light years away because somebody told you so. It's a measurement. It's a measurement.
You're deflecting because it makes you uncomfortable when you're confronted with things you don't understand. But I can help explain this to you if you want.
You know what? Let me explain you something.
Look, I spent 4 years teaching. Now they were teaching undergraduate students, so they might be above your pay grade. But I did spend 4 years teaching, so I can help explain this to you if you need it.
No, I can help you. I can help you with understanding. When I was a kid,
help me understand how this evidence is consistent with the flat Earth.
Let me say you something. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, when I was in elementary school, they taught me that the sun is stationary.
Sorry, I thought we were talking about the topic. I thought we were talking about this video.
That the sun is stationary and fake planets are moving around the sun. So now they are saying that the sun is not stationary. It's moving 500,000 kilometers per hour through the fake galaxy Milky Way, and the Earth's and the gravity affects us by everything falling to the center. But when it comes to the gravity of the sun, we circle around it. We do not fall on the sun. No, that's not how the sun's gravity works. We circle around it. And the sun travels through the galaxy.
What happened?
And we circle in rotation.
Sorry, Mythical. I have deflection-induced narcolepsy. I think I missed all of that.
Yes, because you are very, very bad at communicating with people. You just want to hear yourself. You just want to show your evidence. And you
I almost passed out again. Yeah, so why is the target 8 inches below the crosshair?
Is the Earth's rotation the same everywhere?
Answering a question with a question. Clever tactic. We'll see if it works out for him.
I asked you this question way before you asked me that one.
Well, we were talking about the video and you kept deflecting.
The video was after.
Mythical. Look, I really gotta know. Do you think that like constantly deflecting and being unable to answer like a simple question about a very evident video is like a good look for your worldview?
No, it's not a good look for your worldview because you haven't answered anything that I asked you way before that.
So
you haven't answered anything.
No, you don't think it's a good look?
Yeah, it's a bad look for you, man. You haven't
it's a bad
answered
look to keep you on task. No, sure, I understand.
It's a bad look for you. You haven't answered anything that I asked you about.
Well, yeah, that's because your questions are attempting to deflect and change the topic because you don't want to deal with the evidence that's staring you literally right in the face right now.
Like Chicago skyline over the Lake Michigan, which was not
sorry. You triggered the deflection-induced narcolepsy again. Sorry, you were answering the question, I imagine?
Okay, bye.
Okay,
you're boring.
Man. Put on those running shoes.
No. Don't say run away. You didn't
run
want.
Away.
You didn't want.
Run away. You can't engage with the evidence. So like, I get it. You have to run. You got to put on your running shoes. Go do your FLERF marathon. I can't talk. FLERF marathon. And he's gone. Well, that was great. Man, I've never seen such a skillful deflector. Really quite talented. Oh, why is it? It's saying that we've detected inactivity during your current live. Oh boy, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's not letting me become active. Oh, it's giving me a network error. Come on. Sorry, TikTok's being very, very finicky right now, and I really don't want it to disconnect me. I know you've detected inactivity. I know, please just work. Submit an issue, maybe? Network error, stop it. It was the narcolepsy, I know it was the narcolepsy. It's like live will end in 4 minutes because we've detected inactivity. Well, okay, we'll give it a minute, and then we'll read some super chats, give it a minute, and then we'll see if we can fix it then. All right, let's read some super chats. That was fun, wasn't it? So we have $5 from Doxon Greenlight. Beware Blitz. TikTok is now owned by a Trumper. This last caller is about to become the standard and intelligent voices are going to be silenced. It is unfortunate that that may very well happen. We just have to kind of, I mean, it's still run, oh, it's working, great. It's still run on an algorithm. And so if people don't engage with that kind of like nonsense, then it just won't be prioritized in the algorithm. So anyway, from Doxon Greenlight with the $2, referring to the young lady, by the way. Yeah, I think that she may have been a troll. Anyway, let us keep going. From Boogie with the $2, loved you on Deconstruction Zone. I'm glad you loved me. When was I on Deconstruction Zone? Friday, maybe? And from Encifrium, one's obstinance devalues one's claim to O2 rights. Yeah, to an extent, yeah. From Ron Goldman with the $2, a ball is flat to an ant. It's still round. That's true. From Milf Wrangler with the $10, you embarrassed Joker Light. LOL. Yeah, he had a hard time. Look, sometimes the struggle is real, okay? From Ron Goldman again, the video is fake because during an eclipse you can see the Earth is flat. Oh wait, you see it's round. My bad. Yeah, see, that's what he was doing. That's what he was doing the whole time. He just needed to get away from that video, which is like the most. I mean, of course there are others, and Baron Rutledge does this literally all the time. But this is like a really good piece of evidence of like seeing that actually the target is lower than the observer is, even though they're both 61 inches above the water. We have €2 from Equipo. Can we have sober guests? He was sober, just dumb, unfortunately. From Dr. Fudge with the $5. Blitz, some people are nervous laughers. Could be worse. Could be pissing his pants at that level of fear. I mean, he could be. But the fact that he's a nervous laugher means that he was nervous because his worldview was crumbling before his eyes. From LGB4 with the $2. Yep, times a million. Well, I mean, people do that. Yeah, I'll show the video in a sec once we get through super chats. From Tiffany with the $2, can you ask Globe Crusher to unlock me? I don't, look, I appreciate the $2. I don't think I'm going to do that again. I don't know what beef is happening between the two of you. Like, I've done it before, and like, I don't know what's going on. I should stay out of this drama. From Encifrium again, everyone point and laugh at the idiot. Look, that's what these emojis are doing, right? From Brian Peck with the $5, auto levels and theodolites are usually accurate to 2 to 3 arc seconds. 1 mile is a little less than 1 minute. FLERF has no concept of precision. Yeah, so yeah, that's exactly it. 69 miles is 1 degree. So 1 mile is just a smidge smaller than a minute. So like, yeah, it's you know, theodolites are or auto levels are plenty accurate on this scale. From Milf Wrangler with the $5, guessed, we were taught the sun was stationary, but it's actually moving. Impossible. Oh yeah, right? And from Binary Ghost with the $5, thank you guys. Okay, so this caller needs to learn how and why orbit work. It's a valid question from someone who doesn't know. Why don't we fall into the sun? Yeah, okay, no, I'm happy to answer this question. So look, orbit is 2 things. Orbit is gravity plus motion, right? If the Earth was stationary, if it was just sitting still and then you let go, if you were like holding it still and then you let go, it would just fall into the sun. But because the Earth is moving in kind of like not the opposite direction, but it's moving kind of in the perpendicular direction, moves in that direction, and then the sun pulls it, which all it does is it just tilts the direction of motion. And then it moves in that direction, and the sun pulls it, and then it tilts in that direction of motion. And then it moves in that direction, and the sun pulls it, and it tilts in that direction. So it just goes around. Now, if it's not moving fast enough, it still might hit the sun. And if it's going too fast, it might not tilt fast enough that it can't escape. But if you're moving at just the right speed, then it orbits. Anyway, by the way, if you want access to, so the video is just here. I'll just show you the video. It's Lake Pleasant, Barrent Rutledge. Pretty easy to find. Take a screenshot here if you want. But I do have this video, this particular video, in my debate notes live stream, or my debate notes document, which is right here. I have it right here. See, Barrent Rutledge measures the curvature of the Earth over 1 mile. And if you want access to these debate notes, they have all of my links and references and sources and calculations and stuff like this for a lot of the topics that I do. It's like $4 or $5 a month on just become a YouTube member. You also get access to the emojis and stuff, or you can become a supporter on Patreon. It's just like an incentive to convince people to do that more. Because, you know, every little bit helps, right? Helps keep me motivated to do this rather than go do something else, right? Anyway, let's move on to our next guest. And it looks like our special guest isn't coming today, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. All right, let's talk to Wiggles, what's their name? Okay, looks like they're not coming. All right, let's talk to Europa Forever. This guy's probably a Nazi, but maybe he's a flat earther too. Europa, how's it going? Oops. There he is. Europa, how's it going? I see you active in the comments, so I don't buy your fake snoozing, by the way. No, he's pretending to be asleep. I mean, we know that you breathe through your mouth. Like, that's totally normal for somebody with your stature. Totally normal for a short king. But, you know. You were in the guest box. Presumably you wanted to talk. Otherwise I'll just kick you and you'll never have the opportunity. Sorry, I couldn't hear you over... Oh, he left. Oh, what a coward. That's a shame. You know what they say. White supremacists and Nazis. The most cowardly of the bunch. Anyway, let's bring on another guest.
Hi there.
Sirach.
How are you doing?
Or Cyrok? How do I say your name?
Yeah, it's fine. How are you doing?
Okay. I'm doing all right. Sirach, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's stationary and pretty flat.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Why?
There's many of points, but I would summarize it in 3 main points. It's about the stars,
What
the
about
water. It's pretty that what I'm observing due a year, how the stars rotate or orbit, as you like, don't match really with the theories how we move in space. Because
so what
I
doesn't
observe, you know what's it could be, but the probability that this linear movement match with a non-linear movement is not really probabilistic.
So what part do you think doesn't match?
You know,
like what are the details
so
here?
in the globe model, because I think that the best part for understanding new knowledge is to first destruct or rethink the knowledge we got. So we have first to find the error in our knowledge that we got.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
So there's space for new knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
So like which part of our observations of the stars
you know that
are
we
in
are
disagreement? Sorry, I was
we are
in the
on
middle
the
of
axis
talking.
on
Which part
20
of our observations of the stars doesn't agree with our observations?
that the old civilizations like the Inca, the Mayas, they thought also that the Earth is stationary. Are we agreeing on this historical
why aren't
fact?
you answering my question? Like, you say that like
I'm
the
answering your
observations.
question, but
So
if
which
you
part of our observations of the stars are not in agreement with what you call theories? Like, I'm not talking about ancient whatever. I'm talking about you and me.
Yeah.
When
For that we
look at the
have
stars,
just to
which part
for
doesn't
sure,
agree
for
with the
sure.
theories? Which observations?
So for that we first have to explain the current theory, correct?
Yeah, I mean, like the Earth is going around the sun is going around the Milky Way is moving through space towards the Andromeda Galaxy.
Exactly.
Sure.
And
So
the
which
Earth
part
is
doesn't
not
agree
only
with our observations?
spinning in itself, okay, and in a polar function through with the sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So look, I know the theories. You know the theories. So which part doesn't agree with which observation doesn't agree with them?
And so if you watch the stars, it's not unmatching for you. If you
which part is not matching?
That
what observations don't agree with what the theory says should be happening?
Let's take the
what do you think we should be observing that we're not observing?
The polar star is a fixed star, correct?
Well, I mean, it does move a little bit, but yeah, it is roughly fixed.
Everything is moving, but we see the polar star every time in the same point.
Well, no, I mean, it does move ever so slightly, but yeah, sure. To our eyes, it looks like it's always due north. Yeah.
And
it's about half a degree off of due north, but yeah.
If you know how the actual theories say that we spin around the universe, and by keeping this fact in mind and visualize it, and confronted with the movement of the observed stars that we observe here from Earth, every little child will get that something is not matching, or how. At least you should explain how these two different movements match with the observation.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. So you're complaining that the pole star, Polaris, doesn't look like it's moving that much, or it doesn't look like it's moving at all even.
I'm not only complaining.
Or we can talk about other stars, but let's just use the pole star as an example.
Also all stars. About the movement of the all stars, not only the.
So we can talk about those, but let's just talk about the pole star just as an example, because otherwise we'll just have to go look up information for all of the stars, right? So what we're going to do.
Can I add some additional information at that?
Go ahead.
The point is that also the NASA took their calculation based on a flat, non-rotational Earth.
Okay, so that's kind of a deflection. It's not related to the thing. We can talk about that later. But if we're going to talk about the stars,
I can provide you the source.
I'm familiar with the claim that you're making. We can talk about that after we talk about the pole stars.
I'm not making a claim. I'm just saying.
I'm familiar with what you're talking about. We can talk about that after we talk about the stars. Okay.
For sure.
Okay, so we're just gonna go do some quick Googling, basically, just to get some information to work with, right? So
unfortunately. Can I interrupt you a second?
No, because I've let you speak. I'm going to give you an explanation. So we need to figure out, according to the theories that you don't believe, we need to figure out how far away Polaris is. Let's just Google how far away is Polaris. Fine, we can Google. That's not what I want. How far away is the Polaris star from Earth? Okay. So Polaris, the North Star, is located approximately 430 to 447 light years away, though earlier estimates suggest it was closer. We probably shouldn't use that. Let's just go to Wikipedia. So on Wikipedia, we have distance, 446.5 plus or minus 1 light year. Let's just use 447. We'll just round. It's fine, okay? So we have 447 light years. Right, that's one piece of useful information. We're going to punch that into our calculator. We're going to call it the distance, d, is 447 light years. Now, we need to know how much a light year is, just so then we can get some good scales. So how long is a light year in, what's your preferred units? Miles, kilometers?
Nevertheless, it's both fine.
Miles. So it's about 6 trillion light years, or 6 trillion miles. Of course I'm rounding, but it's about 6 trillion miles. So we're going to multiply this by 5.879 times 10 to the 12th miles. So we have 447 light years. We're going to convert that to miles. So it's about 2.6 quadrillion miles is how far away Polaris is. Now, how fast do you think that the Earth is moving through the Milky Way? How fast is the Earth moving through the Milky Way? Right. We could use this, or we could go find a better source if you want. We could find like stardate.org probably seems good. It says, where was the number? 140 miles per second. Okay, so 140 miles per second, we can use that. Now we can multiply that by 3,600 to get it to miles per hour, right? So the speed, v, is 140 miles per second times 3,600 to get to miles per hour. So that's about 500,000 miles per hour. Okay, now we need to figure out, over the course of, say, a single hour, how much should Polaris seem to move? Okay, we have the data, now we can go do the calculation. We're just using the theory, right? Now, I know you might not agree with the theory, but we're just using the math of the theory, and we're going to do a calculation based on that math to see if it makes sense, right?
Yeah,
so we have the distance. I plugged in the distance here. I have the speed. I plugged in the speed there. Now, over 1 hour, we are going to move through the Milky Way 500,000 miles, right? Because it's 500,000 miles per hour. Now, if we move 500,000 miles and the star is 2.628 quadrillion miles, we can look, how much should the star appear to move in position? Because, you know, you're looking at it from a slightly different angle, right? Mm-hmm. So we can do that. We can figure that out by basically drawing a triangle. So, and by drawing a triangle and then using SOHCAHTOA trigonometry. So the tangent of v, this is the distance that we're covering, divided by the distance to the star, that will give us a, we want the tangent of theta is equal to v divided by the distance, and then we want to solve for theta. I don't know why it's saying selection. What? Okay, there, better. It's just being glitchy. Now we can solve for the variable theta. So the angle that the star will change by over a single hour of moving at 500,000 miles per hour, well, we need to convert it to degrees rather than radians, is going to be 1/100 millionth of a degree.
And now we should do the same thing with 3 other stars.
So what you'll find is that for all of these stars, they will not move a measurable amount in a given night. So this is true for every single star.
This would imply that the polar star is the most distant star that we see, correct?
No, it doesn't imply that at all.
Because we don't see the polar star moving because it's so far away.
So what I didn't incorporate is I didn't incorporate the rotation of the Earth. And the reason I didn't incorporate that is because the pole star, according to the theory, is directly in line or nearly directly in line with the rotation of the Earth. And so it doesn't change. The rotation of the Earth doesn't affect it. However, other stars that are not in line with the rotation of the Earth, if the Earth rotates, that star will swing around. So if the Earth rotates for 8 hours, that star will swing around by 8/24 worth of a full circle. So that it'll swing around by 120 degrees. It'll swing around the pole star. So wherever it is, it'll look like it's 120 degrees further along its path. But that doesn't mean that the star is moving. That's just because your perspective is changing. So it just seems like, given the actual numbers and working out the actual calculations from the theory, it agrees with our observations.
Why we see the other stars move in a linear?
They don't move in a linear. They don't move in a linear direction unless you're at the equator. They move in a circle around the pole star, and that's because the Earth is spinning. It's not because the star is moving. It's because our perspective is changing.
In which x? Not 180 degree, but minus 23.4. That's the x.
That's irrelevant. I mean, it's not really relevant. The point is
it's not.
Polaris
it's not.
The axis is pointing at Polaris.
Irrelevant.
So if you rotate, maybe I need to show you a diagram.
Yeah, and you show only how the Earth is spinning now in 1 day, but how it's in 1 month.
The Earth spins exactly once a day. The spin of the Earth repeats itself every day.
Yes, only the Earth, but the Earth is also not
but
moving.
the motion isn't detectable by human eyes, right? If the motion is 1/100 millionth of a degree in an hour, that's way too slow for us to notice it.
I'm talking how the Earth, it's not only circling on herself, but also circling in the space in a polar function.
we took that into account.
Or maybe you can
took that into account
and show us
that was part of the calculation that I did. In fact, that was exactly the calculation that I did.
Is there some video online where, because I don't found how the Earth is moving in the heliocentric system.
We just Googled it, and it was like 500,000 miles an hour. Did you not like that answer?
I mean a visualization of it.
How will a visualization help?
They say one image says more than 100 words.
Okay, but images are not going to help you check whether a theory's propositions are correct.
Look, we are here on TikTok. It's not a scientific debate in 10 minutes.
Well, we're debating a scientific topic, aren't we?
Yeah, but we have
by the way, I found a good diagram.
We really should dig into it. Now we just calculate the
calculation is digging into it. Watching a video won't really help. By the way, here's a helpful diagram. At least I hope this will be helpful. One sec, let me show you something. So, okay, so imagine that you're here. The celestial North Pole is tilted, right? Now, as the Earth spins, you can imagine that this whole sphere spins around you. And so the stars, like these orange and blue things, they will appear to spin because the celestial sphere is spinning around you. You can think of either yourself as being stationary and everything spins around you, or you can think of the Earth as spinning and everything is stationary. It's not stationary, but it's moving very slowly.
Is there a simulation of it? That would be maybe also helpful for the audience to see a simulation.
Sure. Let me pull up Stellarium.
I think Stellarium and how they see
Stellarium is probably
stars.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll pull up
but it's static, not dynamic.
No. This is a simulation. This is not static.
Okay, because I don't see the Earth spinning in the universe.
I haven't done it yet. Chill.
Okay, sorry.
I have to, there's a way to make it so that I can hit play. Oh, it actually is playing. It's just slow, right? So, okay, so here's, let's just speed it up. Oh, look at that. This is, by the way, Stellarium is built on the heliocentric model.
All right.
So it's going to, if this is what the heliocentric model shows, then this is what the heliocentric model shows. So I'm going from here's morning, here's evening, and then this is evening, and then here's night, and then here's morning again. And see how, Polaris, this is this stuff here.
Everything rotate.
And that's perfectly in line with the heliocentric model. It's exactly what we expect. But in fact,
it's also perfect in line
if we zoom in a little bit, look at this. See how Polaris is moving ever so slightly?
Yeah, okay.
Because Polaris isn't actually perfectly due north. It's just really, really close. It does move a little bit, and in fact, we can measure its motion. It's about half a degree off due north, so it wobbles in a tiny, tiny little circle over the course of a night.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we can observe from Earth. But now it would be nice to see it from a bird perspective. Earth spinning through the universe and how exactly the Earth is spinning. But because I can bet even 80% of your community here don't know why and how exactly the Earth is moving. They know, okay, the Earth is moving in 1 day about in itself.
I don't know how accurate. The thing is, I don't know how accurate these are. Because there's a lot of. I think that this is. I've seen this one. I think that this one's actually fairly accurate.
And then also about celestial dynamics. There
Hold on.
are big
So-
problems with the N body
hold
problem.
on. Do not deflect. Do not deflect.
I'm not deflecting. I'm
then
adding.
stop bringing up other things
information.
until we're done
I'm
with
adding
this thing. So here's, by the way, here's the motion that here's the motion that you probably wanted to see, right?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
That's better. Perfect.
This is what you wanted to see, right?
Okay.
So this is roughly the we're going around it as it's moving. Like it's not turning. We're just going around it. But this is roughly the angle and like the way that the motion is. Of course, this is like highly sped up. This is do they not say how sped up it is?
And the moon come
One
with
sec.
us.
Yeah, of course it does. It's
Alright.
gravitationally bound.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so they're not. Oh, actually, maybe they cite their
And
source.
you see how this moves, and now with the including the stars. Here, the stars was missing.
No, the stars were in the background. You can see them in the background.
Where in the background the star? Okay, I don't.
There. But like this is highly sped up.
Okay, where are the stars?
You can't see them?
Wait.
They're like the little specks.
Okay.
See how they're like in the same
And
place
this
because they're
this
really,
a
really far
scientific-
away?
Is this approximate simulation or
This is just a
exactly-
simulation of the solar system's motion. I don't think that they were trying to like simulate the stars or anything. And the thing is in any simulation
That's
where they
missing.
were
That's
including
missing.
in any simulation where they were showing the solar system's motion, the stars would appear stationary because the stars are so immensely far away compared to the solar system's speed. It's just like you wouldn't notice that they're moving.
But we see that they are moving.
No, you only see your perspective changing from the Earth's rotation.
Yeah, I see my. Okay.
That's you moving, not them moving, right? They move in exactly the way you would expect if the Earth were the Earth were a sphere rotating. So just to be clear, your original contention was that our observations of the stars don't line up with the theory that they teach us, but they line up exactly. It lines up exactly with our observations.
No, then our observation with the stars don't match how the Earth is moving.
Of course they do. Which observation of the star doesn't match how the Earth is moving?
Bro, the Earth is not moving in a circular way.
Well,
Not
the Earth is
only.
definitely rotating rotating in a circle
Not
about its
in a
axis.
circular way. If
About its axis it is.
confronted with the
That's in the model about its axis. It absolutely is.
In a polar function, and you say
In a polar
it doesn't
function?
matter.
What do you mean in a polar function? Like there's the motion and then there's the rotation. These are two. You can like separate these two types of motion.
Okay, we rotate.
Yep, we rotate about the axis,
In one
and
day,
that's what causes the
Earth
stars to appear to
rotate in
move over the course of
in
the
an
day.
angle 23.5 degree. Okay.
We
in
don't
one
go
day.
like this,
Then
by the way.
in 1 month.
That's not what we do. We always rotate about the same axis. Always. It's
Yeah.
always pointing in the same direction.
So we rotate and then go directly to a wood.
So this is what happens. If my fist is the sun, this is what happens. The angle doesn't change. It doesn't go like, it's not like this. The angle is always the same direction. It's always pointing in the same direction.
And that, okay. And so now if you imagine both scenarios with the stars, is exactly mentioned in your mind? If you confront it?
We just did the calculation. Yeah, it exactly matches.
No.
It's not. I don't have to imagine it. We can just do the math.
Bro, what we did, we just calculated with the polar star and not we do not compare.
Yeah, so we can include the rotation of the Earth if you want, and the rotation of the Earth will just make the stars go around the polar star once every 24 hours. That's what, if you include the rotation of the axis, if you include the rotation of Earth's axis, then yeah, all the other stars, we will not see them deviate in any significant way from just going around the polar star once every 24 hours.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is no simulation online where we can see it, how that works.
I just showed you one. Stellarium is a simulation of that online.
No, you just show me an approximate.
It's not.
graphic.
No. The Stellarium is not. Stellarium is a simulation.
Yeah, but you don't. You just show how we see the stars, not
Actually,
how
let me
the
double
Earth
check
is moving
something.
in the space. That was the point, you know.
Let me actually double check something,
And
because
that's a
maybe...
little bit more complicated.
Hold on.
That the little, but I would appreciate if you find something. I don't find anything.
Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I want this to be 0. I want this to be, wait.
And as in my introduction, I told you
Hold
also
on.
the Maya that fought on the stationary air. They predict the stars 3,000 years later. So that's also
Hold on.
nice
We're
point
going
to have in
way
mind.
back. Hold on. Before we change topics,
Yeah.
we're going way back into the past, because Stellaris, sorry, not Stellaris,
If you go-
Stellarium
if
can show
we
us
go into
what
this
the
topic,
stars were
we
like
can do this
hundreds of years
in
ago.
2 days.
Do you know that?
What?
Stellarium can show us what the stars were like hundreds of years ago.
Who? Sorry.
The simulation that I was showing you earlier. The simulation, it can show you what stars were like hundreds of years ago. So I'm
but I
winding
don't
the
see
clock
how
back.
the Earth is now moving in this one. That's not relevant. I just see
But
the
this will,
stars.
look, the Earth moving will account for the fact that the stars are in different places. But it's going to take a while, because I don't know if I can actually like wind the clock back manually, or if there's some better way to do it.
That's the interesting point.
But
How
in
the
fact,
Earth is
here's
moving
something
in
interesting.
space.
Here's something interesting, and I can just tell you. I made a video about this a while ago. You can actually just go look at like old almanacs from like the 1700s, where they were recording the positions of all of the stars. And what you'll find is that, and these are the positions of the stars, like there's a way to measure the position of the stars in a way that's kind of independent of the Earth's rotation, so that you're always like measuring it in the same way year over year, right? And it's called measuring it relative to the tail of Aries or something? I forget what it's called.
Well, the NASA have 30 billions of budget and don't give us
One
a
sec.
shitty simulation of their
Is
theories.
it yeah, so you can measure the right ascension and the declination of stars. And so those things are things that in principle aren't supposed to change. Like if the stars were genuinely fixed, the right ascension and the declination of a star wouldn't change at all. And you measure the right ascension and declination of a star by measuring on a very specific day of the year at a very specific time, and you measure relative to a very specific place in the sky. It's the March equinox. So you measure on the March equinox, and then anyway, there's a whole process for this. And we've been doing this for hundreds of years.
There's for much.
Please,
bro.
We've been doing this for hundreds of years, and so we have accurate measurements of the stars from like 300 years ago. And if you compare the positions of the stars from 300 years ago to the positions of the stars now, they're in different places.
No one is denying this.
Okay, so we agree that the stars do move. This has nothing to do with the Earth's rotation. It has nothing to do with how the stars move night over night. They move year over year. They're like the constellations change over time.
Yes.
In exactly the way you would predict if the Earth was a globe moving through the solar system.
But that's now you are putting two different things together. Okay.
No. See, this is in agreement with our modern theories. What do you mean it's not agreement? You can check it yourself,
bro.
I mean, you probably won't because you're afraid.
You know, in science, it's not so easy.
Afraid of doing math, but this is in perfect agreement.
Look. Can I speak one minute?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
And then, because if you think logical, okay, just 1 second, about how knowledge works. Knowledge is power, and we are now talking about a conspiracy theory. Okay, that's for sure. So it's not enough to dig into 5 minutes and read some formula, and the formula, it's correct, but the implication of it, if it's adaptable to the point, that's the other question. And there are things that we have to go to dig into it. And for every your point, there's also, it's a little bit, you have a lot of noobs here talking about stuff, but it's not relevant what this noobs talks. It's about where the information, where the theory are based with the informations, okay? So if also a Christian talks about stuff or a Muslim that he don't know, but in the book it's another, the book is the point. And also there is the FLERFS Earth Society have mentioned all these points. And they are pretty famous scientists, okay, that also Einstein said that there is no experiment that we can take that the Earth is moving. And Bohr, I guess Bohr, and so go on. So now that's what I like to keep you in mind.
Yeah, of course. So your original contention was that the theory that we have for the Earth's shape,
not matching. Yeah, that
it doesn't match. And I've shown you now several different ways in which it does match. And you have yet to give me a single observation that doesn't actually match. Also, by the way, I think that you would
show me that how we observe the stars, bro. That's for sure. That's
yeah, I showed you that using a simulation that has the Earth being a sphere coded in. I showed you a calculation. We just did an explicit calculation about how much Polaris should appear to move if the Earth is a globe flying through space at 500,000 miles an hour. I showed you both of these things. I can show you evidence that the motion of that the observed change in position of the stars, like how the constellations change shape, is in agreement with the theory that we have for the motion that the Earth is taking through the galaxy. I can show you all of these things. So you have yet to give me a single observation that actually doesn't agree with the theory, even though maybe you want it to not agree with the theory. It does. Now, you said a second thing. You said famous scientists think this. Einstein never said what you said he said. What he said is that there's not a single optical experiment that can detect the motion of the Earth. Now, that is very, very different from what you said, which is there is not a single experiment that can detect the motion of the Earth. There are many experiments that can detect the motion of the Earth. They're just not optical. And this is essentially because of relativity.
Can we agree on one thing? That we don't find online simulation of that what you said?
So literally, I did a calculation for you. And I showed you a simulation of how the stars move given a globe Earth. Bro. What, do you not trust math now?
Sorry.
Do you not trust math? Like, we did the calculation. I don't know why you need a simulation. The simulation is just visualizing the math.
Yeah, and that's my question.
So, but I showed you the math. Why do you need the simulation?
Bro, the question is if there's something online, yes or no. By the way,
there are such simulations. I know of one. It's called... I think it's called Universe Simulator, but it's paid. So, and I don't own it.
Okay.
But if you want to get it, you can get Universe Simulator. It's actually like really fun to play around with too. I think that the Stellarium paid version also has this. But I don't know of any that are free. Maybe somebody else does. Space Engine is free.
And
one sec, sorry, I'm just checking a message I got.
You have done the calculation, but one calculation, sorry, it's not enough.
Okay, how many calculations do you want to do?
We have to pick 3-4 stars, technically.
Okay, let's just do another star. What star do you want to do next?
Yeah, one that rotates.
Okay, which star do you want to do next?
Take one of the Great Beer.
Okay, so Ursa Minor? Or Ursa Major stars, I guess. So what are the stars in Ursa Major? So we have... I don't know. So these are... I don't know any of these stars. Duba, Merak, Vecta, Megrez, Alioth, Mizar, and Alcade. Those are all stars in the Great Bear.
Pick one that it's far away from the polar star.
Okay, well then you shouldn't pick one from Ursa Major because Ursa Major is where the polar star is.
Pretty simply.
Why don't we pick like Why don't we pick like
your calculation was pretty simple, so that's what was
so why don't we pick
skeptical about it. I'm just wondering. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm just wondering.
Why don't you do it next? So let's pick a different star. Let's pick Eta Carinae. Eta Carinae is a lovely star. In fact, it's even a binary star. So are you ready to do the calculation?
The question, I even don't know how many parameters I should to put in it.
Well, wait a minute.
That's what I thought that you said that it was too simple. Into.
We're going to do this for...
too simple because there's some...
If it's too simple, then why can't you do it?
simple in the form that something is missing in this case.
Oh, well, what's missing then?
Show me. Can you show me?
Yeah, it was just a simple trig calculation.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the calculation that we did. What's missing?
And that's the one. Can you show me the result?
This was the result is here. It's this number here. Oh, sorry, you maybe can't see the whole thing.
One. Yes.
Here, let me make it a little bit smaller. There you go.
It's 10 minus 8.
Yep, that's how many degrees it should appear to move every hour.
No,
so what's missing from the calculation?
Let's take this. Okay, let's take this one and just put the other values from the distant star.
Okay, so Eta Carinae.
Then,
I actually don't know the location of I don't know like where it is in the sky.
10 minus 8 is the.
That's how much Polaris would appear to move every hour.
Meters or what?
No, degrees.
So it's near to nothing.
Yeah, basically you wouldn't notice it moving with your eyes. So, okay,
and in a year,
why don't we look up
a year?
Over a year, yeah, we can multiply it by 360, or by, we can multiply it by 24 to get a day, and then 365 to get a year. That is 0.00009 degrees over a year.
Okay, now we can look
over 5,000 years. Why don't we try over 5,000 years? Over 5,000 years, oops, sorry, that was not the right number. Over 5,000 years, it would move half a degree.
Yeah, but let's do 10 years and then look up to the website, because at the website it looked that it moves a little bit more.
Okay. 10 years. So 10 years is 0.00096 degrees. Okay. You know what we can do? We can actually just go look up.
Should it be notable?
Sorry?
Should it be notable or not? If it should be seen or not?
Should not by humans. Like you wouldn't notice this.
Okay.
Now I should say there's two caveats to this calculation. I was solving for a worst case scenario. So imagine that we were moving towards Polaris, then it would appear to move less than if we were moving to the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was assuming we were moving exactly to the side of the star. I was also assuming that the star itself wasn't moving. Now, the star is actually basically moving with us, so this is probably a huge overestimate. But what we can do is we can actually just go look up the speed at which the star appears to move. This is it's something called proper motion. We can just go look it up and we can check. So let me do that really quick. What the proper motion is for Polaris. Blah, 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 blah. And we wanted, proper motion is usually measured per year, so I'm going to do the calculation for a single year. And we also need to convert to milli-arcseconds. Milli-arcseconds is
missing in their formula.
Sorry?
So there was something missing in the calculations.
So I was solving for a worst case scenario, like if it was moving the most it could possibly move, given our speed, how much would it appear to move? I was basically giving you the benefit of the doubt. Does that make sense?
Now you don't give me any more.
No, I am. I'm just telling you that the number that we get will probably be much bigger than what's actually measured. Because
okay, but then if the number that we now getting is much bigger than the worst case scenario, then the worst case scenario.
No, the number that we're getting, the worst case scenario would be how much it could move given our speed. And the reason why I did that, it was because I wanted to illustrate that even if we were moving in exactly the right direction, so that it would move as most as it possibly could for Earth traveling, or for the Earth traveling through space, you would still not notice it moving. Now in reality, we are moving through space. The star is moving through space. We're not moving exactly perpendicular to it. So the motion is a little bit more complicated. So if we wanted to actually solve for the actual motion, it would probably be less than the worst case scenario. So we can just go look this up and see what the worst case scenario is. I'll show you what the prediction is. So the prediction is worst case scenario. I multiplied by 3,600 and then by another 1,000 to get into milli arc seconds. That's the unit that's used to describe proper motion. Worst case scenario is it should be moving 346 milli arc seconds per year. Now let's go check. We'll just go to Wikipedia or something because it usually has this information. So according to Wikipedia, the thing that you should look for is proper motion here. So the right ascension and the declination are just two different angles on the sky. Declination is, I can never remember. I think declination is up, down, and right ascension is basically left, right. That's how you should think of it. But anyway, so we have about 44. The other one's small and irrelevant. We have about 44 milli arc seconds per year. So we were off by slightly less than an order of magnitude, which is to say, Polaris actually moves slightly less than it would if we were, or it moves a bit less than it would if we were moving in exactly the way to maximize its motion. So it's not so surprising. There are other stars that have bigger proper motions. There are other stars that have smaller proper motions. But the point is that we can see and measure its motion, and its motion is too small for us to see with our eyeballs. Now, actually, I'd be curious, on your worldview, why is it that Polaris moves?
Why it should not?
So, I mean, what causes it to move, right? On my worldview, the reason it moves is because stars are orbiting the center of the Milky Way, and they're orbiting in different paths, so they don't necessarily look like they're moving in the same way, so they might look like one moves relative to the other. I don't even, like, in your worldview, I don't even know what a star is, let alone why it would move.
What I can say you that in the flat earth theory, the stars are not as distant as in the globe.
Yeah, but what are they, and why are they moving?
That's about speculation, but we are living in an electromagnetic field.
Okay, so
and how
it sounds like you don't have an explanation for why the stars move.
There's not really, no.
Okay, so it seems like this is a win for the globe then, because we at least have an explanation for why the stars should move, and you don't.
If this explanation is empirical proven, then yes.
I mean, like, look, on the globe model, we expect that stars should move, but they should move slowly. And then we go and look at the sky, and the stars move, but they move slowly. So, like, I don't know what more empirical proof you want.
That they move slowly?
Yeah.
That's your point?
That's a prediction of the globe model. The globe model predicts.
Yeah, but
that the Earth is moving through the Earth is moving through the galaxy, and the other stars are moving through the galaxy, and that the stars that we see in the sky as a result of this motion should move, but slowly.
Yeah, bro. That's why I told you from the beginning that the Incas and Mayas also could calculate the
No, they
stars
couldn't.
exactly.
They didn't have that accurate measurements. The accuracy of telescopic measurements, the accuracy of like stellar locations, only really got this good after Galileo turned a telescope to the sky, because you need a telescope in order to get this accuracy.
So the Incas and the Mayas was 1% less of Galileo.
Yeah. So they didn't have telescopes. They couldn't measure the star locations accurately.
Yeah, but what means not accurately?
It means that they only had their eyes. They had no means by which they could actually
90% they calculated correctly.
So human eyes can only measure to about 1 arc minute. That's how accurate the human eye is. And I can source that for you if you want.
I mean that the Mayas predict 3,000 years or 2,000, how long it was, how the star constellation is nowadays. And maybe
no, they didn't.
2 times less.
The Maya. No, they didn't. To be clear,
The Incas. And also the pyramids are linear exactly with the
Except they're
3
not.
stars.
Okay, so now we're just gish galloping. Want to pick one
Plus,
topic and we can talk
minus.
about it?
No, plus minus.
Do you want to pick one topic and talk
we
about
have
it, or
to
do you want to
dig
gish
into
gallop?
the topics.
Okay, so pick one and we'll talk about it.
No, we can. What we had on the list was the calculation of the NASA that you want to,
Which we verified.
and then, yeah, what? What
Go
we
on.
verified.
Uh-huh. Go on.
Yes. There's GalileoLight.com. There you can check the original PDF summarized,
Oh,
where you will find the
I'm sorry, what are we
the
doing with
calculation.
what is the next topic you want to talk about? Like, do you, because it seems like you just want to rattle off things and not actually go into any of them.
No, the topics that I mentioned.
Which topic do you want to talk about? Which topic do you want to talk about?
We can talk about how the Michelson-Morley experiment got interpreted by famous scientists.
Okay, yeah. So tell me, what do you think the Michelson-Morley, or is it Michelson or Michelson? I always heard Michelson, but
Michelson-Morley.
Anyway,
yes.
so tell me what you know about the Michelson-Morley experiment.
I know if you Google it now, it will show you.
No, I just want you to tell me. I'm very familiar with it. I want you to tell me what you know about it.
Disproven the ether. That's
I want you. Okay, so I'm. How,
it's a
how
mess.
does please? I want
yes.
details. How is it supposed to work?
Yeah.
Why did they think that they could use such a mechanism to disprove the existence or prove the existence of the ether?
That's the theory that the globe offers.
No, I'm asking how does it work? How does it work?
That they send laser beams. And
okay, how does sending laser beams make it work?
They mirror it, but the explanation, that's, what's it important.
How does sending laser beams test the ether?
Chill with your suggestive questions,
Well,
there's a website.
The reason I'm asking these questions is because I actually don't think you know anything about the Michelson-Morley experiment.
Yeah, and you don't know
to be
what
clear,
you don't
Michelson
know.
and Morley didn't have lasers. The laser wasn't invented yet.
They mirrored.
Yeah, they didn't have lasers.
Light. Sorry,
yeah, they use
laser, light. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And however,
and why would measuring light tell us anything about the ether?
Bro, look. Do you know what a smart person does? He can't know everything. A smart person listen to what expert says and then think about that.
Great.
Okay?
I'm an expert. Listen to what I say.
Okay, you are an expert. Okay?
The analysis that was done by Michelson and Morley is consistent with the null hypothesis that they measure nothing.
Exactly. The result was every time
so
zero.
That's consistent.
Correct?
That's consistent with the ether not being real and the Earth.
All right.
Like it's consistent with the ether not being real.
Bro, that's your interpretation from.
Oh, I thought you said that we listened to the
Michelson...
interpretation of experts. Isn't that what you just said?
Yes, but you are one of them.
I'm an expert. Listen to my interpretation.
And then yes, and under experts there's certain types of level. At least you don't have
in physics.
Nobel. Yeah, but the Nobel Prize is missing.
Okay, yeah. So
inshallah,
inshallah, indeed. Now name me one Nobel Prize winner in physics, of course, that thinks the Michelson-Morley experiment doesn't show the ether doesn't exist.
There is a list of top scientists who.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the standard was Nobel Prize winner.
Yeah, there's one included.
Okay, guess. Who? What's their name?
I'm missing. We will see it. That's the TEFS.org.
Sorry, how do you spell it?
It's the FLERFS.org. Just the
FlatEarthSociety.org. Okay, so this is where you get your information from? You don't get it from experts?
That are the experts.
The Flat Earth Society are the experts. Do any of them have PhDs in physics?
No. The Flat Earth Society is just a medium. The sources are written in there.
Okay, let's look.
And that's the.
So where's the PhD physicist
that's the
about
final, bro? That's the
right.
final.
So I'm on the Michelson-Morley. I'm looking for the names of Nobel Prize winners on the Michelson-Morley experiment page. Let's look.
Just did you type Michelson-Morley?
Hold on. Let me show you where I am.
Yep.
I'm on the Flat Earth Society website, which is hilarious, by the way. Nobody should ever use this as a reference because it's probably not a particularly honest reference, but we can look. Okay, so we have Albert Michelson and Edward Morley. So, okay, you want to go to the sources?
Why are you so?
Okay. Oh, they don't actually. Why don't they actually cite their sources? That's weird. They don't have a sources section. That's so weird. Why isn't there a sources section?
It's below, bro.
I went to the bottom. Where is it?
There, you see it.
This is C also. These aren't sources.
No,
this is just more the Flat Earth Society website.
The quotes.
Oh, quotes. Oh, okay. So
you see the quotes?
Yeah. Let's look at the quotes. Who of these are Nobel Prize winners who think that the Michelson-Morley experiment didn't show that the ether doesn't exist? Okay, so Kitty Ferguson, not a Nobel Prize winner. Sir Fred Hoyle, not a Nobel Prize winner.
All right, no one. Are there noobs?
Lincoln Barnett, not a Nobel Prize winner. Arthur S. Otis, I actually don't know who that is.
All right.
Who's Arthur S. Otis? Psychologist, not a Nobel Prize winner. Lincoln Barnett, a historian, not a Nobel Prize winner. James A. Coleman, probably not a Nobel Prize winner, but we'll look. Yeah, he's an author, not a Nobel Prize winner. Lincoln Barnett again, not a Nobel Prize winner. Arthur Eddington, he did win the Nobel Prize. Actually, did he? I actually don't know if he won the Nobel Prize. No, he did not win the Nobel Prize. Okay, not a Nobel Prize winner.
Oh.
Okay, Hendrik Lorentz, did he win the Nobel Prize? I don't think he won the Nobel Prize, actually. Let's see. Oh, he did. He got the 1902 Nobel Prize with Peter Zeeman. So what did Hendrik Lorentz say? Briefly, this is in 1886, by the way, before the experiment was conducted. Briefly, everything occurs as if the Earth were at rest and the relative rays were the absolute rays. Yeah. Now, was this before or after the Michelson-Morley experiment? It actually may have. Oh, this is awkward. This is super awkward. Because the Michelson-Morley experiment was in 1887. It was after he said this. So why should we care about his quotes about the Michelson-Morley experiment when they're not about it? Because it didn't happen yet. Okay, so that's not relevant. Bernard Jaffe. Is this person a Nobel Prize winner? Nope, is a chemist, not a physicist. Julian B. Barbour, not a Nobel Prize winner. Adolf Baker, not a Nobel Prize winner. Arthur Eddington, again, not a Nobel Prize winner. Albrecht Fulsing, not a Nobel Prize winner. James Coleman, not a Nobel Prize winner. They are a physicist, but they're not a Nobel Prize winner. And Stephen Hawking, not a Nobel Prize winner. Douglas C. Giancoli, I actually don't know who that is. Let's look. Are they a Nobel Prize winner? Not a Nobel Prize winner. So none of these are Nobel Prize winners.
Yeah, and would you rank you in the same position as them?
Well, most of them aren't even scientists, so yeah.
Okay, and in the scientist?
Which scientists?
Yeah.
Hendrik Lorentz, when he was talking before it happened? Arthur Eddington? Yeah, Arthur Eddington in 1920.
The other well-known scientists there. It's not irrelevant what they say.
Well, so there's like one, two, three well-known scientists here.
All right, that's.
So there's Sir Arthur Eddington. Sir Arthur Eddington, who famously, by the way, proved that relativity is true. I don't know if you know this. Do you know who Sir Arthur Eddington is? He's the guy who got Einstein famous for proving relativity is real. General relativity, you know, the theory of gravity.
Yeah, I have.
So Sir Arthur Eddington, I can assure you, Sir Arthur Eddington did not think the Earth was stationary.
In this, the quotes say something else, I guess.
Well, the quotes are single sentences. We can look at one quote. Here's one quote that says, "There was just one alternative. The Earth's true velocity through space might happen to have been nil." Okay, well, what is this the alternative to? Why did it leave out what it's alternative to? Where's like, there's clearly something that he's talking about. Why isn't he talking about it? Why did why is that part of the quote left out? Actually, you know what? Maybe we can go find that quote somewhere. Let's go find that quote. Nil. Found it. Sweet. Love when we find this stuff. Go away. Okay. Okay, so I found the paragraph. This is Sir Arthur Eddington. This is from this, you know, the Nature of the Physical World by Sir Arthur Eddington, right? This is the Clifford Lectures. We want to go down to this section. Now, this section is consequences of the contraction. Okay. So here we have, let's just do some reading really quick, yeah? Is that fair?
No, we should look to the quote and then read the context.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some reading. Hold on, I want to make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see.
Can you not just search the quote?
No, I know. We're gonna read around it. I was just finding where it is in the. So here's the part. The Earth's true velocity through space might happen to have been nil. What's the next sentence? This was ruled out by repeating the experiment 6 months later. Since the Earth's motion could not be nil on both occasions. So, funny. Why did they leave that out of this quote? That this alternative was ruled out 6 months later.
Let's read forward.
Yeah.
Other two sentences.
They were not observed, therefore the compensating contraction had occurred. There was just one alternative. This is the quote. The Earth's true velocity through space might happen to have been nil. This was ruled out by repeating the experiment 6 months later, since the Earth's motion could not be nil on both occasions. Thus, the contraction was demonstrated and its law of dependence on velocity verified. But the actual amount of contraction on either occasion was unknown, since the Earth's true velocity is distinct from its orbital, blah, 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 blah. So it's funny. Why do you think they left that out? Why'd they leave out the next sentence?
Bad quote.
Funny. Okay. Want to go check the next one? Is this really the source that you're using? Because, you know, if this was the source that you're using and they're being that dishonest with quoting their stuff, maybe you shouldn't trust the Flat Earth Society. Bro,
that's like Wikipedia, you know?
Wikipedia provides sources and you can go check them if you don't know if they're true. So that's what we did. We just went and checked the source.
Yeah, but we had the source.
And we went and checked it, and this was lying. This was saying that he was saying something that he wasn't saying.
Yeah, it looked bad. Of course. Let's check another. You know, I'm not intellectually dishonest. And then we calculate the other stars, and then
we already so you want to go back to the calculation, or you want to go towards this? I don't even remember how we got here. We were sorry. So we were talking about right. So just how we then we're not just so we don't like deflect more and get off topic more. The reason we got here was because I was wondering where, like you said that you're not an expert, so you went to the experts, but the Flat Earth Society is not accurately representing the experts. So we shouldn't use the Flat Earth Society website as a means to see what the experts are saying. So instead, you should ask me. I'm an expert.
You're an expert?
Mm-hmm. I have a PhD in physics. My area of research is relativity.
Yeah, but you have to admit that there are other experts equal to you.
There's not a single PhD physicist who thinks that the Earth is flat. In the world. Not a single one that thinks the Earth is flat. Find me one.
And then
I'll debate them.
Okay, because there's even a PhD work about the rotation of the Earth from a PhD student in Tunisia.
Okay, what's their name? I'll look it up. We can look at it right now.
Yeah. And what I'm wondering, it's just about online. It's just about 6 pages. That was wondering, but it's from the University of Sfax.
I don't know what that is. University of
Sfax. SFAX.
Okay.
And just to keep it in mind, okay? Can we agree on the fact that in science there's certain things that even as scientists you can say publicly, and other It's an Yumpu. Jumpu. YUMUPU.
YUNUPU.
Yeah, Jumpu. Jumpu.
Wait, how do you spell it? One more time.
YUMPU.
Okay.
This
is a really suspect website, by the way. Ugh.
Jumpu, it's just a medium, bro. It's just a medium.
No, I know. No, I'm not. It just looks like I'm gonna get a virus. Okay, I actually found this on a better website.
Okay.
Here, this is better. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so let's look into this, shall we? So, was this published? Do we know if this paper was published?
I checked the university and the prof.
Well, no, but we're looking at the publication because so this is not published in a physics journal. Also, these are not physicists. This person, they work in the Department of Geography. So, why is this person an expert on the physics of, the Earth's motion and the Earth's shape and all this stuff?
Bro, you should.
Just a geographer. I thought you were bringing me a
the
PhD
university
physicist.
that gave her the PhD.
Well, to be clear, they weren't a PhD yet. They were a PhD student, and this is not physics, right? Also, actually, just to be clear, this person assumes the Earth is a globe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you think that the Earth is a globe?
Bro, he takes the globe models to disprove it. Look at the conclusions.
Okay, let's read the abstract.
That's
By the way,
why
abstract is from a non-physicist, but we will. No, he's
the
criticizing
globe
the heliocentric model. That doesn't mean the Earth is flat. Okay, let's read the abstract.
I'm not saying flat, but yeah.
Several astronomical observations have shown the presence of numerous failings in heliocentric models such as Mercury retrograde motion, cosmic rays, and Perseids meteor. Numerous researchers are talking about, this is written like a child. Numerous researchers are talking about these topics. Because there is no empirical evidence that the Earth actually orbits the Sun, astronomy observations, geophysics arguments provide proofs for the steady Earth and the Sun's motion. The main contention of the paper is to demonstrate the flaws in gravity and relativity, and to disprove the alleged motions of the Earth that for so long time have been unjustifiably taught. Okay, so this is not a flat Earth paper. You recognize that, right?
It's about that the Earth it's not moving.
Right, but it's not about the Earth being flat. Do we agree on that?
It's about that the Earth is stationary.
Right. Do you think that the Earth is stationary but spherical?
Could be, bro.
Okay, so now to be clear, their claim is that there is to demonstrate the flaws in gravity and relativity. Keep in mind, they're claiming to do that when they're not a physicist. That should set off alarm bells. Is this your expert? I thought you go to the expert for the field. Why would you go to a geographer to talk about gravity and relativity?
There are other experts for other things. Okay, bro.
Give me a physicist who makes this claim. Somebody with a PhD in physics. Also, let's actually do they actually run any calculations? No, they actually didn't run any calculations. I don't know how they can make the claim that anything was falsified. Is there a single equation in this paper? Okay, they cite E equals MBC, which is okay, not a thing. They actually don't use this in a calculation. They cite E equals MC squared. Do they do any calculations at all? They don't do any calculations. Do you want to see what a physics paper looks like? Let me show you something. Let me show you something that so the paper they just showed me claims to disprove gravity. Let me show you something else that you might be interested in.
Yeah, gravity is a myth. You know that page?
I'm sure that that's what you believe. Okay, now this is a real physics paper written by real scientists in the field. Measurement of gravitational coupling between millimeter-sized masses. Now we can just scroll down, and obviously there's a whole bunch of data here. This is an experiment. We can just scroll down, and we can look at their calculations, at their calculations. Here's a table which involves measurements. Like physics papers have calculations, my guy.
Wow, okay, it's a new information.
Okay, so why don't you listen to the guy who knows what he's talking about with regards to what physics is? I know what physics is. I got my PhD in physics. I know how physics papers are written. I know what the scientific models are. I know what the experiments of the past imply. Why are you relying on some random PhD student from Tunisia and a list of badly quoted scientists who didn't say what the quotes make them appear to say, rather than just listening to somebody who knows what they're talking about?
Yeah, because in science you have to read the pros and the contras.
Okay, but you didn't read the pros. You only read the contras.
Why you say so? I read the contrast because the pros don't really convince me.
Okay, can you name one physics paper that you've read?
Maybe that's why.
Can you name a single physics paper that you've read?
About what?
Anything.
I read a lot of scientific papers and.
Name the most recent one that you read.
Look up to this gravity is a myth. There are some.
That's not the name of a physics paper. Name a single physics paper, the most recent one that you read. Just name a single one.
I don't remember.
So I thought you read them a lot.
Do you remember all your?
I have them pulled up.
Last one?
I actually have them pulled up. You want to see them? You want to see the most recent one that I read?
That was the last one.
Yeah, this is the most recent paper. Oh, sorry, that's not it. Here it is. This is the most recent paper that I read.
All right.
So, can you name one?
No, I can't.
Okay, so I think that you're just lying to me when you say that you've read any physics papers. I don't think that you ever have. Which is fine. By the way, if you're not a scientist, if you're not a physicist, it is totally normal to not read physics papers. Physics papers are filled with jargon. They are absolutely filled with technical terms that if you haven't gone to school for it, you will just not understand. However, you can't then say that you've read the pros when you clearly haven't.
So, if you say so, you know, humbleness is a sign of greatness, you know, to be something.
Humbleness is not lying about having read papers. It's not humility.
Read papers.
You can't name a single one.
I'm reading everyday papers, bro.
You can't name a single one.
You know? Yeah, because I read it maybe 2 years ago.
I thought you said that you did it all the time.
No, I never said that. Bro.
Hold on.
So chill.
Hold on, I just gotta check. I gotta check because maybe I'm just misremembering. It's possible.
I said that I read a lot.
Okay, so when you say you read a lot, that means like you read one every 2 years?
Not one every 2 years, but 2 years ago, I read a lot. And a lot, it's maybe 20.
Okay, and so when you say that, like, it sounds like you're saying that you read them 2 years ago and you don't remember what they were.
I don't remember about what they were, but I don't remember the exact title.
Okay, what were they about? I'm sure we can find it.
The last one was about intelligence, artificial intelligence.
It was a physics paper?
Only physics paper, you mean?
Well, yeah, that's the relevant thing, because you said that you read the pros and you read the cons.
Okay,
now,
no,
you clearly showed me
general.
2 cons that you looked at. I'm asking
sorry,
what's the...
I meant general papers.
Oh, what was the last physics paper that you read?
It's also a few years ago. But it was also, I guess, from Ernst Mach.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I read this old. So I read this.
We can go find a list of his papers.
Not the current papers. I'm interested in. I'm interested more about this old stuff.
So wait a minute. How do you know what the current scientific view is if you haven't read any new papers?
Bro, I mean that the paper that I read are old, not current.
Yeah. So you haven't read any like new papers, right?
Bro. What?
You haven't read
from
any new
famous
papers?
scientists, from science like this one, Ernst Mach.
Okay, so
And also,
Ernst Mach lived in the 1800s, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay, don't call it paper, but it's with work.
I mean, they are.
What
He did write
scientific
papers.
work,
So
you
look, let's go find a bibliography of Ernst Mach.
That's the stuff I'm interested about. But it's can we go to look up?
We're just gonna go look at his
the
bibliography.
NASA
Okay.
points, bro.
Hold on.
No, they're not.
Okay, here's a bibliography of Ernst Mach. So which of these works have you read? Make him a little bit bigger.
Bro, that's your
German?
point now. That's your point now. Yeah, I speak German.
Okay, good. Yeah, so which one did you read?
But that's your point. It's
don't know
so
what that
interesting
means.
for you that one.
So you
Can
didn't
we
read any of
please-
these?
Bro, think what you like to think, okay? I'm not here to
Okay.
argue myself, okay?
All right, well,
And-
look, I think I'm going to let you go because you've been on for
can
almost
we
an
look
hour.
to the
But,
just to the
um,
NASA papers and then
Wait, I thought that you didn't read new papers.
bro, can you proceed to this thing?
NASA only started to exist in the 50s. I thought you didn't read new papers. I thought you read only the papers of old scientists. Now you're telling me
Okay,
to
you
go
got-
look at a NASA
Yeah,
paper?
yeah, can we?
Well, but you haven't looked at it, so why should I look at it?
So we can because
But you
you
haven't. But neither of us. But you haven't looked at it. So like, why should I look at it?
you're pretty funny, you know.
Well, thank you. It's in my genes. Cyrock, I'm gonna let you go, but thank you for being here. Yeah, that was rough. I didn't want to go into a whole new topic with him because it would just go on for a while. He was already on for over an hour, so. Yeah, that was. Like they just can't handle. They can't jive. Oh, guys, should we bring up graphics? What do you guys think? Should we bring up graphics? Oh, we have some super chats to read. All right, let's read some super chats really quick. Oh, so from Tim Davidson, my new conspiracy is a one-winged Jewish billionaire with a giant sword is running the entire economy, and I call it the Sephiroth conspiracy. That's funny. That is really funny. From Base to Asherah with the $6.66. Let's go. Dr. Blitz is human serpentious. I actually don't know what that means. But thank you, I think. From Garain with the $5, How Earth Really Moves Through the Galaxy by PBS Spacetime. Oh, that's probably a good video. Let me pull it up really quick. Because I actually think I've seen this. But like, yeah, this isn't exactly what he wanted anyway, so it's not really relevant. Yeah, it's not really relevant. It's a good video though. From Binary Ghosts with the $5, geocentric, heliocentric, old and busted models, egocentric model is what I subscribe to. True, absolutely. And we have $5 from Garain again. YouTube video of measured stellar motion, the dance of stars. Oh, measured stellar motion, the dance of stars, understanding parallax and stellar motion by Jason Kendall. Timestamp is 11:15. Okay, let's do it. Let's just go take a look. I think I knew this actually. Yeah, Barnard Star moves really, really, really fast. If you guys don't know this, Barnard Star is really cool. It's a very fast moving star. And yeah, here's what we're looking at. Let me hide this really quick. So here we have, in 1950, we have Barnard Star, and see this like triangle over here? Pay attention to that, because in 1997, here's Barnard Star, and here's the triangle. So the relative position of stars has changed. If Barnard Star was part of a constellation, then it would be in a different place. That's a good video though. I'm gonna put that in my debate notes. I'll put it in the to sort. To sort. Relative motion of Barnard's star observed. Timestamp 11:15. Cool. Thank you. All right, let's look at the next super chat from Binary Ghost with the $10. Thank you again. Kind of odd to hear the flat Earth is not moving through space when one of their theories for gravity is the Earth is constantly accelerating through space at what we measure Earth G at. No, they don't think that anymore. They don't think space is real. See 12 minutes in that video for an even better example. Okay, let me take a look. Oh, that's just like actual observed motion. That's pretty good. I'll add that as well. Okay. And then we have $5 from Dr. Fudge. These guys like to talk about EM a lot. Out of curiosity, Blitz, have you had to deal with Electric Universe Yahoos? There's overlap with FLERFS. I have. They're very funny and they know almost less. From Germs Rossalino with the $10, Dr. B, I got my back in comp engineering in 2019. I've been working as a professional iOS engineer, software, not hardware. Been thinking of going back for my master's. Is that realistic with a 7-year gap? Yeah, absolutely. Getting your master's is absolutely realistic. We have $5 from Saint Diluted with, thank you so much, Saint. Excellent job being linear. You've taken that seriously today and I appreciate it. Yeah, I just don't want to deal with it otherwise. And from Peyton with the $5, I'm an astrophysicist undergrad student is what you meant to say, and just came across your stream. Fun watch, nice break from REU applications. Oh yeah, I believe that. Good luck though. All right, so what did people think about bringing on graphics? Should we bring on graphics? I mean, like, we know what he's gonna do. He's gonna probably run on, scream, and then leave, but do we bring him on for the memes? We want this? Is this what we want? Is this what the people are asking for? All right, this is what the people are asking for. All right, graphics. For the culture. For the plot. All right, let's see how long he lasts. Graphics, how's it going?
I just have 3 questions for you.
Sure, but first, do you think the Earth, what shape do you think the Earth is?
It's round.
Okay, well, but then you're not on topic?
Well, you keep running from me, so I was hoping you would just answer 3 questions and I'll leave you alone.
It's not running graphics. I've just talked to you and blown you out like 4 times already. It's getting tiresome. He didn't want to be on topic, so I don't really want to engage with him. He can come up maybe at a later time and we can talk when he's actually on topic. Well, you know. Yeah, I've blown his back out. All right, let's talk to 85. How's it going?
Blitz, how is it? How are you?
I'm doing A-okay, 85. What shape do you think the Earth is?
An ellipsoid.
An ellipsoid? Like,
yes, sir.
3-dimensional or 2-dimensional?
Oh, God.
Sorry?
You got a real question? I thought, come on, physicist. You know,
well, look, do you think that it's like shaped roughly like a globe, or do you think that it's shaped roughly like a plate?
Come on, physicist. You know an ellipsoid can't be 2-dimensional.
Okay, well, then we agree. I just assumed that you didn't know because you came up to, you know, debate whether the Earth is flat. All right, let's talk to Gallegos. Gallegos? Okay, he's not connecting. Let's move on to the next guest. Oh, it's Joe. Joe's been making the rounds.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Joseph, how's it going?
I'm doing good, thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. Joe, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Well, it appears, I use the word apparently because when we look at the ground, it appears to be flat.
Well, yeah, sure, that's true. But like, what shape is it actually?
It appears to be flat. I don't want to use theory based on what I'm
not talking about theory. I'm just asking what
comes to.
Look, lots of things appear one way, but are actually a different way. I'm just asking, what shape is it actually?
It's flat.
Okay, you think it's actually flat. Okay, why?
It appears to be flat. I don't think it just appears to be flat.
Well, yeah, but lots of things appear one way without
the,
being that way. Surely you agree.
Yes, that's correct.
So like, just because the Earth appears flat when you're on the ground, looking at something, looking at the horizon or whatever, how does that mean it's actually flat when we know that things can appear one way without being that way?
Well, exactly. We have to understand how to look at our reality, right? We can use our eyes, we can use our hearing and our senses to a certain extent.
Yep.
What's happening is that we're getting confused with how to use our senses based on theory and mathematics. We're switching them up back and forth, and we're giving ourselves a sort of vertigo.
I'm a little confused because like we don't like we can use like you're fine with like telescopes and stuff, right? Like we can like take a telescope and like point it at the sky. So like
what I'm saying,
what theory and mathematics is involved in like telescopes?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we have to understand how to use technology correctly. We have to understand how to use mathematics and theory.
I agree.
Well, we can't use one to blanket the other.
I absolutely agree. If we're doing physics, we need the theory should absolutely be subservient to observation and experiment. I agree.
And the reason why
to some extent anyway, but yeah, sure.
The problem with flat Earth, on your side, you understand that once flat Earth is proven, your physics basically burn up in the air.
That would be probably true if flat Earth was proven, but first it would need to be proven, right?
Well, yeah, but I can prove to you that about 90% of your physics are not even being used in real life on Earth. It's just theory.
Can you?
So when we
okay,
look
can
at
you do that,
computer
please?
chips, they run.
Wait, can you do that, please?
Boolean math. Well, computer chips don't use your physics models.
Wait, hold on. But that's irrelevant. You said that 90% of the physics is not used on Earth, right?
Well, it's theory. It's
well,
theory.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. So how do you prove that 90% of the physics is not used on Earth?
Well, because it's physics. It's theory. It's theory. So when we look at
you think that 90% of physics is theory?
Math, right? It's not translated to technology on Earth. That is correct.
Wait,
it's not used. Just like with Einstein.
Wait, so do you think that 90% of physics is theory? Or like, what's the claim here?
Yeah, it's just.
Okay, can you prove that? Can you prove that 90% of it's theory? Or are you just like making up a number?
Technology is not being developed off of it.
Are you just like making up a number? Can you prove that like 90% of physics is theory?
In some cases, and other cases,
in some cases, you were talking about the entirety of physics. There's only one case.
Well, bottom line is that most of it is bloatware, right? So if you buy a brand new computer,
sorry, just to check, Joe, what was the last physics paper you read?
I'm going to be honest with you. I barely graduated high school, right?
Okay.
But I have common sense. So
right. So
what I'm saying
that
is
doesn't answer my question, though.
I don't read physics papers.
So then how do you know what physics is if you don't read the physics literature? How do you know that it's 90% instead of 50% or 10%?
I know how computers work, and they don't use it.
What does that have to do with physics,
they
though?
Use Boolean math.
Physics isn't only about computers. You understand that, right?
I understand that.
So then why are you talking about computers when you're trying to make the claim that 90% of physics is just theory when computers aren't the only thing that exists?
Made the atomic bomb.
Look,
we would have had the atomic bomb before.
Joe, let's back up. What do you mean when you say 90% of physics is theory? Like, what exactly do you mean?
It's theory. It's theory.
You keep saying that. What do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that is that it cannot be translated into real life experience or development.
Okay, so I'm just trying to clarify what your answer was. Are you saying that if we took 90% of all of the physics papers that have been written in the last 100 years, 90% of them would not be relevant to any like application? Is that the claim?
We would still have what I'm saying is we would have the same technology today for the most part. Yes.
That wasn't your claim, though. Your claim was about 90% of it being theory, not that we would have the same technology today.
It's theory. It's not fact. See, what I'm saying, guys,
look, maybe you and I are talking past each other. Theory doesn't mean not fact. Theory is like a style of doing physics, right? It's where you work with the underlying mathematical models to make predictions. And theory is as opposed to experiment, in that experimenters take the work of the theorists and then they test those theories and they examine them and try to poke holes in them and stuff. So like, but when you say theory, you just mean that it's not fact? Like, I don't, like which piece of technology do you think doesn't rely on modern physics?
It doesn't solve randomness, right? You can use theory to say
that seems unrelated.
at this time.
I just don't,
at that time.
What do you, okay, do you know what an MRI is?
I mean, like, it's something they use in hospitals. But again, I'm not an expert on all these different
Right.
fields.
So
I'm just
an
somebody that
MRI
thinks.
is an application of a physics theory developed in like the 50s.
I get it.
Okay, do you know what a laser is?
You can't develop technology.
Do you know what a laser is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, a laser is the result of a physics theory that was developed by Einstein in the 20s, I want to say. Maybe
And I
the
would
30s.
argue once you put a laser on sea level, when you put a
And
laser on the
to
sea,
be clear,
it does not bend.
do you know what a GPS is?
Yeah, global positioning satellite.
Yeah, GPS rely on all sorts of scientific theories, including Einstein's relativity, including various theories of the theories of like rocket propulsion and so on. Do you know what?
Let me ask you a question about.
I don't know. Do you know what a nanoscale semiconductor is? Or sorry, a nanoscale transistor is?
Okay. I mean, I don't know everything, but
okay,
I do
so a
have common
nanoscale
sense.
transistor is what's
What I'm
in
saying
all
is
of your.
put-
A nanoscale transistor is what's in every single computer, and these rely on the theories of condensed matter physicists to understand the way electrons transport through metals.
I'm not saying all physics is.
So basically, all of
There's
modern
useful
technology
stuff out
relies on the theories of physicists of the last 100 years. Basically, all of it.
But can I ask you a question? If you put a laser on sea level, will it bend?
It
Or will it
can,
go
because light bends through when the medium is not perfectly uniform. So like it can.
Do you know what sea level
But why are you
is?
deflecting away from your original claim?
Well, I mean, you're saying I want to get back to Earth being flat. I mean, I was just talking about physics for a minute. I know this is not the conversation, but I wanted to get back to the Earth.
Sure.
Do you believe in sea level? Okay, so what does that mean? It just means
I don't know
level,
what you
right?
mean. Do you believe in sea level? Sea level is like a standard that we use to measure things relative to.
Fair enough. And that's what I'm going to go by, because that's what I see with my eyes as well.
Okay, so do you
what I'm
think
saying
sea
is
level
that if
means
we look at the beaches in
flat?
Sydney, Australia. Yes. for
Sea
the
level
most part,
doesn't mean
yes.
flat.
It's not bending. Well, look, if you look at Sydney, Australia to the beaches of California, Los Angeles, we're looking at 1,630 miles of curvature. That's over 1,000 miles, right?
Sure.
There's no way you're going to have the same sea
Wait, I'm
level
sorry. How did you compute that? How did you compute that? That distance?
With the map, this is your calculations with.
Yeah.
the
Okay. So
globe
are you
as
telling
it
me that you
being
use
a
theory?
globe. This is just mathematics based on your
Oh,
theory
I thought
of
that.
being a globe.
Okay. So you know you used theory there.
Well, it's a theory that you're saying it's a globe. So I'm using
Well, no, that's a
hard
fact.
line mathematics.
That's just an
It's saying-
observation. It's not
Well,
like a
mathematics based on your
theory.
globe theory says that the Earth should be curving at certain distances. So when we
Yeah,
look
it's
at
1
Sydney,
degree every
Australia to
69 miles and
Los
change.
Angeles, we're looking at over 1,500 miles in curvature.
Sure.
How can you
Yeah, they're
have
very far
that
away from
but
each
then
other.
have sea level at the same time?
Sea level doesn't mean
But
sea
you can't
flat.
have both. You can't have sea.
Sea level doesn't mean sea
So
flat.
what does it mean then?
Sea level is a reference point
Then what does
relative
it
to the
mean?
center of the Earth.
Okay, but then what does it mean in real life though?
I just told you. Did you have trouble understanding?
No, you're giving me a theory, but it makes
This
no
isn't a
sense
theory.
in
I'm
reality.
telling you what it is. It's a
You're giving
reference
me,
point.
you can tell me whatever you want, but if it doesn't translate to the 3D reality
Do you
in
not
which we live,
understand
it's
the word?
useless.
Are there?
And this is what I.
Which of
this
the
is
words
what
are
I try
hard?
to.
Which of the words are hard for you?
Well, I could sit here and give you a bunch of definitions and say this is what it is, but we're
Okay,
making
so do you?
cartoons.
Is there a particular word in the definition that you want me to explain better?
Well, you're not. I want you to explain to the audience what sea level is. It's sea level.
Yeah,
It's
sea
simple.
level is a reference
We don't
point
have to
relative to the center of the
BMW
Earth.
the idea here.
Sea level is a reference point
Why are we
relative to the
making
center
this
of the Earth.
overcomplicated?
What's overcomplicated? It's
So
such an
what does
easy
that mean?
idea.
If you're in Sydney, Australia, and Los Angeles, it's sea level for both people for the most part. Is that correct?
Yeah, because, well, I mean, no, it's not. Like, it depends on where you are relative to the reference point, whether you'll be at sea level.
You guys believe in halfway crooks. Okay, you guys want to have it both
Cool
ways.
deflection.
You gotta have. You can't.
Are you just
drive
not
a car
understanding
two-
the English definition I
can't
gave you?
drive a car two directions at once. Why are you trying to drive the car two directions? Either you're going
Why
to
are you
Miami or
deflecting
New
from a
York.
very simple
You can't go-
definition?
It is a simple question. Sea level.
It's a simple
What is sea
definition.
level?
I
You
gave
won't
you a
answer.
very
You
simple
answered it correctly
definition.
one way, and then you gave me a whole other definition.
You
gave
asked me
two
what it is.
definitions for
I gave you a single
said yes.
definition.
You say yes, it worked, and then you turned around and said no, it doesn't. So is
When did I
sea level
hold on?
sea
Hold
level,
on.
yes
Don't
or
put
no?
words in
If I didn't-
my mouth, Joe. Don't be dishonest. I know you're not being dishonest,
But
I
I'm
don't
not-
want you to appear dishonest to the people who are watching. So be careful,
How-
okay?
But how are we going to have a conversation when you're changing the definitions? You're
I didn't
moving
change
it
the
around.
definition. I gave
just
you
wanna
one
have a
definition.
basic- What is okay? Explain it. What is sea level again?
It is a reference point relative to the center of the Earth.
Okay, so does that mean if somebody's in Sydney, Australia, and somebody's in Los Angeles, are they going to relatively have the same sea level? Yes or no?
I don't know what you mean by relatively there, but they can
Oh
be
my
at sea level.
God,
It's not
dude.
the same
See,
place,
this is the
though.
problem with you guys.
I was
You
answering your
guys
question.
think so
I was
much
answering your
that
question.
You don't want to.
So look,
sea level is.
you
here,
can
is that
have
correct?
somebody in Sydney, Australia, at sea level if they are a certain distance away from the center of the Earth. Similarly, you can have somebody in San Diego or in Los Angeles at sea level if they are a certain distance away from the center of the Earth. Sea level is
But
a
what is
relative
this certain
sea level is a difference. Sorry, sea level is a distance relative to the center of the Earth that somebody is.
So what is this certain distance? Because I don't know
depends
what
on the
this
place.
certain distance is. You tell me.
It depends on the place. There's
depends.
something called the
Okay, so it's just whatever. It's
it's-
just.
well, no, I mean it does depend on the place, right?
So you're basically telling me to believe in God at this point, right? But the
No, I
science
could
version.
give
just have to
you
believe
like a
it's
map that tells you what the distance is from the center of the Earth. It's called a geoid, right?
But if you're on a ball, it doesn't. It's not going to change very much, dude. What I'm saying. Is sea level
it
is
changes
sea
like
level.
about 200 meters depending on where you are.
But we're changing definitions. This is why it's so hard to argue, you guys, because you change definitions. You don't want to accept the facts.
When
you
did I
don't wanna
change a
use
definition?
Words correctly.
When did I change the definition? I just
You're
gave you the
talking about
definition.
sea level, and now you're telling me that it's flat, but then it's not based on the
When
center
did I
of
say
the
it's
Earth,
flat?
based on wherever it is at the time.
When did I say it's
based
flat?
on this, but if it's not that, then it's this. It's like, dude, come on, guys.
Joe,
look, I'm just a regular.
Why
guy that
are you
graduated
who are
high
you
school,
talking
right?
to? Because you must be talking to someone else. I never said any of those words. I never said anything about flat.
Bottom
I never said,
line,
oh, it's
but
flat. I never said that.
All I'm saying.
You said it's
we have
flat.
to
Are you
use common
confusing me
sense,
for
guys.
you?
We can't. Okay, this is what you guys are doing, right? Japan, right? Japan runs trains on time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They run perfect, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You guys just write mumbo jumbo equal 9 o'clock, mumbo jumbo equal 10 o'clock, mumbo jumbo equals. Well, just because something works doesn't mean you have to put mathematical formulas on it. It's going to work either way, right? So you're confusing theory with output. No, it's just observation. That's it.
Okay,
It's
look,
operational
so
intelligence.
If we
That is
didn't
it.
use, and look, I understand that this is intimidating to you because you probably, I mean, like you
It's
said,
not
you barely
intimidating.
passed high school.
It's
You barely
not.
passed high school. And so like,
I understand.
so, but the way that we come to a lot of our best ideas, like how we understand superconductors, for example, how we can know how to make new superconductors, how we can know how to make MRI machines which diagnose people with cancer, how we can know how to make PET scans which blast away tumors using radiation. The way that we do this was based on theory. This was all based on theory. It was all based off of complex mathematical models that then came true. They made valid predictions and they came true. And then we were able to take advantage of those predictions that we didn't know, or of those phenomena that we didn't know existed before, because we didn't have a reason to think they exist, because we didn't have the theory that suggested they should.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but what I'm saying is that it doesn't overtake trial and error, right?
It absolutely
So
does.
when
It's
we look
way
at the Wright
faster.
brothers, they had
It's
trial
way
and
faster.
error. No, you have to have the idea from trial and error first, and this
Not
is
necessarily,
why
no.
the Wright
I mean, like
brothers actually
you
won
can get an
flight.
idea for
This
one
is why
thing and then use that to come up with another idea and then learn about that other thing that you would have never gotten from trial and error.
But what I'm saying is that this is why they won the race to make an airplane, because everybody else was using theory. This is
That's
why they
not
couldn't
true.
get the planes off the ground.
Do you have any evidence that that's the
Yes,
case?
it is true.
Okay, provide your evidence then.
It's in the history books.
Okay,
Anybody
provide
in
the history
audience
book
can
then
look it up
that you
and see.
probably didn't read.
I am not at my library right now. But what I'm saying is that I have.
What's the name of the
general
history
ideas,
book? I can find
and
it.
this is correct. It's just, I don't. Oh my God, I'm not in my library right now.
Yeah, I know, but like clearly you're familiar with this history book. So why don't you just tell me the name and I'll find it?
But they didn't need Einstein. They didn't need Newton. They did trial and error to make the first.
They absolutely needed
And all
Newton,
I'm
by the
saying
way.
is, yes, there is
The idea of a lift force. The idea of a lift force requires Newton, by the way.
When you look at birds fly, dude, you look at birds fly. Black birds.
You know,
don't look
actually,
at,
you know
don't think
what?
about Newton when they're flying.
It's exceedingly funny you bring up that example. I actually didn't think about this, but this is a good point. The
Birds
reason
fly
why people
because it's
failed.
often- it's
Hold on,
just the
hold
reality
on,
that they're in.
Joe.
That's
The
how they
reason why
work.
the reason why people failed so spectacularly to produce a flying machine before the Wright brothers was because people were just trying to do trial and error using what they observe, like with birds. But we can't make a machine that flies like birds do. So the Wright brothers, they had to use their engineering knowledge, which comes from physics, by the way, to come up with a better way to do it with a fixed wing device.
They had basic mechanical engineering. Yes, they did. But what I'm saying is that the inspiration for flight came from nature. It wasn't from some science book.
The inspiration that people got from nature led them in the wrong direction.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm saying is they say the cavemen invented the wheel thousands of years ago. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's not. But I can tell you one thing. They didn't use physics paper to invent the wheel.
Turns out some things are easy,
they
other
used
things are hard. Do you think that we would have had computers without physics?
I mean, you could make the same argument with the pyramids. Did they use all these theories and Newton and
Can you answer my question, please?
Einstein and the pyramid?
Can you answer my question,
What is
please?
the question?
Do you think that we would have computers, like modern day computers,
Yeah,
without physics?
We need physics, yes, to a certain extent, but most of it is bloatware. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, he
Computers
says,
run off of
while
booze
having
and
barely
shit
graduated high
runs
school, having never
computers.
read a physics paper, probably knowing nothing more than like things fall when you drop them. How, like, you see the level of enormity of the claims that you're making, despite the lack of knowledge that you have in the same field.
But again, that doesn't change how a computer chip works. It's just electricity
A computer
on,
chip
electricity
works.
off.
The
Ones and
reason a
zeros.
computer chip works is because we figured out how to make it work using physics.
But it's still the underlying math is a simple format. It's just on ones and zeros. That is it. It is
Yeah, and they
nothing
would
more
have never
complicated
figured
than
out how to create that in reality without understanding the theory of semiconductors, right?
that. Yes.
It would have never happened. Or if it did happen, it may have
All I'm
happened
saying
like
is
300 years later, rather than in the 50s.
We have to just. Yes, physics work. I get it, but it's based on what we can observe, what we can do on Earth, and what we can see on Earth, right?
Well, we can
can't
also leave
figure out
Earth and
what's
make
going on
observations too.
50,000 light years away. Well, you really can't because
You really
don't even
can,
know
though.
if it's even there to begin with. Right?
I mean, we do.
Well, I
Like
mean,
we can
if
we
you're
can see
judging
the things that we
stars,
put in space.
Right? How do we know? How do we know those stars even exist? Right?
We can see the satellites that we put in space with our own eyeballs.
But the stars you're looking at may not even be there.
We're talking about satellites, not stars. The stars that we put in space, we can see them with our own eyeballs.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean they exist. So
What are you seeing
calculate?
if they don't exist?
You're just seeing the past, right? That's what you guys say. It's just light.
So when we're looking at a satellite, like the International Space Station, zoom across our field of view in 2 minutes, what are we seeing?
Whatever you guys want to paint, man, because it doesn't exist.
Okay, so you just think that it's like
with you, I don't
everybody's
even believe
hallucinating
space.
it when we see the International Space Station?
Yeah, I think it looks. It's a Coca-Cola can at this point in my book. It makes no sense.
Wait, so like, you know that you can see it with your own eyes, right? Like you can go out at night and see it
with my own eyes. I'm not Superman.
Sorry?
I'm not Superman. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, you've probably never
Superman. I
looked.
don't
It's
have,
fairly quick.
Superman.
What part of the world are you in?
Well, you're going to show me a dot in the sky and say that's what it is?
Well, no, I just want to know what part of the world you're in.
You can say that if that's the case.
I just want to know what part of the world you're in. That's all. You don't even have to give me your like city, just like the area.
The western region of the United States.
Okay, I'm just gonna punch in Los Angeles. You're probably not in Los Angeles. Maybe you are. But we're gonna look for. Why does it think Los Angeles is in the Philippines? What? Sorry.
Well, there is one there actually.
Is there? Oh, that would actually make sense. That's actually. It's funny that you say that. Okay, I'm gonna put in Pasadena instead. Okay, Pasadena, locate me. Nope, don't want that. I want Pasadena, please. Hold on, one sec. Let me pull this up. Pasadena. I just don't want to dox my own location.
That's fine.
Okay. I would like Pasadena, please. Pasadena.
But all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you have to throw everything out like the baby with the bathwater. All I'm saying is that we have to look at our reality correctly and judge it correctly. When we see a phenomenon, it's
but wait a
just
minute, hold on.
We see a theory,
we can see
it's a theory.
we can see a satellite passing over our head, the International Space Station. Right.
Okay. I mean, I could see a dot over my head too.
Yeah, and it goes from one side of the sky to the other side of the sky in 2 minutes. What is it?
Okay. I mean, it's a comet. I don't know, a shooting star. It's a phenomenon for all I care.
So it's kind of weird, right? Because it is exactly, and you can look this up in advance. It's exactly where it crosses over your field of view, exactly when and exactly where the International Space Station flight trackers tell you it will be. So isn't that kind of weird?
That's fair, but you can do that with.
So how are they predicting the future then?
Santa Claus app as well.
How are they predicting the future for a thing, just a dot that's just randomly crossing the sky?
It's just like seasons. It's just a pattern. That's all it is.
Okay, so why is it that you can see somebody with a spacesuit standing outside of it with a telescope?
I can see somebody with a space.
You would need a telescope, but you can see like this. Like I can show you something. It's pretty remarkable.
That is what you're saying is pretty remarkable.
Yep.
So I don't even know how to respond to that. But okay.
Yeah, I'll show you a video. It's actually like really cool. I think it's this one. Yeah, here we go.
I would love to tell kids in 5th grade to look up the sky and see astronauts in space, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
Here we go. Here's a video. So here we have, this is just a guy out in the desert. Here's his telescope. This is on Space Movie. He's just like a small YouTube guy. And there is the International Space Station right there. And this is what he's seeing. This is the raw footage. It's not like post-processed or anything.
Okay.
Now,
fair enough.
If I remember correctly, it's this guy who actually captures, so this is processed now, by the way.
And how fast is it going?
Well, it crosses the sky in about
space?
2 minutes. So, okay, this is not the video with the spacewalk in it. It says don't miss the new spacewalk video, but let me see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Spacewalk of 2 astronauts captured from Earth. Let's just scoot forward. Here we go. So it's a lot crummier of a day. See how oh, you can't see it. See how like crummy it is?
Okay.
Just zoom forward. That's where he's pointing, by the way. I don't know how long this video goes. Okay, so here's the raw footage. It cleared up. Real time.
I can say that's pretty cool, but let me ask you this.
Here's a time lapse. Where's the actual, did he lie to me in the title? He may have lied to me in the title.
Question.
Because I don't see a guy spacewalking. He lied to me in the title.
Can I ask you?
Oh wait, no, here it is.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh wait, hold on. Let me wind back a little bit. So in this, so I have to go find this thread now.
Let's just say that's fine. That's fine. I
okay, so you can see the spacewalk happening.
Okay. Okay, so if that's the case, and I'll take you on fair value, fine. Let's just do the same thing for Earth and have a satellite in space about 1 million miles out so we can see the Earth as a globe.
We don't need to go 1 million miles out, and we absolutely can do that. The Himawari 8 telescope does that. It's pointed at the Earth. It takes a photo every 10 minutes.
Well, where can I go right now to watch a video live of Earth in space, seeing it as a globe?
The International Space Station. Oh, well, so as far as I know, there are no like live stream videos that are that far away. The International Space Station live streams 24/7, and you can see the Earth from them, but they're not that far. But let me show you what that looks like.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, we got. Well, I already know that's low Earth orbit. That's
but
really
like it's still like pretty remarkable, right?
Not really. No, I don't care about that.
It's not remarkable.
No, it's not. No, I can get on an airplane and see that.
You absolutely cannot.
I would love to see.
So here, let me show you something else.
I really want to see Earth.
Here's a live stream.
In space. Yeah, but that's not showing anything. That's just.
It shows the curvature of the Earth.
Altitude. Oh, yeah, but that can be. What I'm saying is this: there's nowhere we can go where we can just look at the Earth spinning in space. That's all I'm saying, right? So let's.
I mean, you can. You'll just have to. Right? You'll just have to be comfortable with low frame rate. Well, no, you can. You'll just have to be comfortable with low frame rate, right?
Well, why would I have to be comfortable with anything?
Because
if we're living in the technology
one photo every 10 minutes is what the Himawari 8 does. There's also the Epic Discover satellite, which does a similar thing.
One last question.
Here's another one.
To prove my point.
The Epic Discover satellite.
Yeah, well, that's not really a video, but
I mean, it is. Like, it's just too low. The frame rate's just too low for you.
I mean, where's Europe? Where's
on the other side?
We're just only seeing a portion of. Well,
it's spinning.
We're only seeing.
Do you notice that it's spinning?
Yeah, but that's just a graphic. I mean, I play video games.
No, these are photos.
If I could say that's it.
These are photos, actually.
Okay, so they're photos. So, I mean, what do we? There's nothing to really confirm here. I mean, it's just.
Well, yeah, you can actually confirm the weather. If you just go to the date and time, you can actually just go confirm the weather, because this is a weather satellite, right? So you can actually just go check that the weather that it's showing you agrees with the weather that's like on your home radar or whatever. So you absolutely can confirm it.
That rocket. Is there such thing as north, east, west, or south in space as far as directions? Can you make a rocket?
I mean, you can like
right in space?
you can make like an arbitrary decision about what directions those are, but that's not a really well thing. Did you hear? By the way, this satellite's from like almost 1 million miles away. It turns out. But did you hear that question being asked by somebody else earlier? Because that's a really weird question to ask.
Well, what I'm saying is that when you're in space, you're technically not even going up. I mean, how do you even know you're going sideways?
No, you do. So up is out.
Because there's no direction.
Up is the direction away from the Earth. So
yeah,
there definitely is an up.
Our observation on Earth.
Sorry?
But space, when we're talking about space, there is no direction in space.
We choose we choose what words mean, right? So when we say up, we mean away from the Earth. That's what the word means.
But technically, you can't really land on anything because you don't know what direction the planets are going.
You can land on things by looking at where the planet is and orienting yourself accordingly.
That's not the way it works.
It's absolutely the way it works. In fact, the way that you get to the moon is literally you take a rocket and then you go up while pointing at the moon. That's how you get to the moon.
Right. Well,
And then when you get there,
So
you turn around, you blast your rockets again to slow down, and then you slow down, your orbit will take you on an intersection with the Earth, and then you just orient yourself so that your thruster points down, and then you slow down your speed as you're approaching the surface of the moon.
Can I just ask one last question? I know you're not going to have me on here forever, but one last question, if you can answer this for me. Do 24-hour time zones work at the poles?
Do 24-hour time zones work at the poles? I don't know what a 24-hour time zone. What do you mean a 24-hour time zone?
Well, we have 24-hour zones on the Earth.
24.
Right?
We have more than 24 time zones. We have each time zone differs from the next one by about an hour, depending on which time zone you're talking about.
But so you said we have more than 24 though, or?
Yeah, there are. There are places where there's like half-hour time zones and 15-minute time zones. So
do you know what that number is, or?
The number of time zones? I can Google it for you.
I thought it was 24.
Yeah, there are more than like ideally it would be 24 if each one was exactly an hour, but there are several time zones that are only 30 or 45 minutes apart from each other. So, for example, Nepal is 5 hours and 45 minutes ahead of England.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to get to the point that whatever the time zones are, how do they work at? Okay, well, 38. How do they work at the poles? How do 38 time zones work at the poles?
There's no well-defined single time zone at the pole, so you just pick one. Because a time zone is supposed to tell you something about how long it takes for the sun to go down and then come back up, but that doesn't happen at the poles. Like at the exact geographic poles, right? So
all right, so it doesn't work then. Is that correct?
Well, they're just meaningless there.
Okay.
Think about what a time zone is supposed to. Joe, think about what a time zone is supposed to do. It's supposed to tell you when the sun is directly overhead and when it's set, right? But the poles don't have that.
That's fair.
So it doesn't. We don't expect it to work. It's not really supposed to work there.
If we were to cut the Earth up in 24 different longitude lines, right? If we were to cut the Earth up in 24 different longitude lines, how would they line up at the poles?
They would all intersect.
Could you do that?
They would all intersect.
So it wouldn't work. So that wouldn't work either, right? They would intersect. That's correct.
That's what I'm telling you. Time zones are not time zones. Time zones are supposed to tell you what the longitude lines do is they tell you relative to where you are, where the sun is. But on the pole, over a given day. But on the poles, that's just not a thing that happens because at the poles, the days are not days; they are months.
I feel you.
It is months between the sun setting and rising.
If the time zones don't work and if the longitude lines converge, how do you make an accurate map up there?
You don't need a clock to make a map.
No. I'm saying, how do you make an accurate map at the poles? If we already know that longitude lines are not working correctly, how do we make?
You can just measure distances. Is that confusing to you? By the way, longitude lines do work. They just intersect there.
Yeah, but the surveying of the land would be off. It would be morphed out.
No, the longitude lines just intersect there.
So you're telling me that all maps on Earth are 100% accurate?
Well, probably not.
Are they accurate? Are they accurate? Yes or no? Because they're not.
To what degree? Are we talking to 0.001% accuracy or 0.01% accuracy? Accuracy is is quantified, right? Do you mean exact?
This is your globe.
Yeah. If you have a cartographic globe, then it's going to be accurate to it'll tell you at the bottom how accurate it is. It'll be it's accurate to within 200 meters, or it's accurate to within whatever. The bottom of the globe, because the globe sits on your desk.
Do you know how big Africa is?
Yeah,
it's
do you?
Over three times. It is huge, right?
Yes, it is. And on a globe, its actual size is represented well.
You can't use a map it doesn't work. Mapping systems don't work at the globe because
they definitely do. Joe, look, I understand a lot of things are confusing and hard for you. And that's fine. For a lot of people, a lot of things are confusing and hard. I would suggest just listening to the people for whom it's not confusing and hard. Because then they can explain it to you, rather than being combative. Joe, unfortunately, it is past noon, which is the end of my live stream, but thank you so much for being here, Joe.
Fair enough.
Okay, we have some super chats to read. 5 Canuck bucks from Reverend. Oh, actually, before we do this, look, I'm actually, I would love to see if there's a correlation between like some measure of intelligence and being a flat earther. Because as much as I like to think that like everybody can learn things, it seems like there's a difficulty in understanding some things for a lot of flat earthers. And like, look, that's okay. Like, you know, the way that we talk about, you know, processing capability, all of these things, these vary in the human population. But like, it seems like there were a lot of things I was saying that he wasn't understanding, and this happens a lot. And so is this just, I actually don't think it's just childhood brainwashing. I actually don't think that's what it is. I think that there's a lot of things that people like, look, there are like, if you take a 5-year-old, they're not going to understand calculus, right? Or like a 4-year-old or something like this, right? And if you take a 13-year-old, they're not going to understand, I don't know, quantum field theory. Like they just haven't like developed their brain enough to be able to understand that. And so the question is like obviously people are different. You know, if you take Albert Einstein, he was obviously more capable of understanding things than like average Joe Schmo off the street. So the question is there a correlation? Well, I don't want to say it's a learning disability. I mean, like there's plenty of variability just in the normal range of human behavior. Is there a correlation between inability to process, or not inability, but lower ability to process information or take in new information, critically examine views, and being a flat earther? I wouldn't be surprised if there was. Now, of course, I have no evidence to say that. I have no empirical data to say that, but like, it's just like, is this, because I've spoken with plenty of flat earthers who definitely know things. They just don't, like Austin Whitsitt, for example. He knows a lot of things. Maybe he just knows how to repeat the words, but I feel like he knows a lot of things, and he actually has some depth of understanding. But I think that he's kind of just grifting. But a lot of the people that call in definitely don't feel like they're just grifting. They feel like they just don't understand. So I don't know. Maybe somebody should study this. I'd be interested. I mean, like, IQ is not really a particularly great measure, because IQ doesn't. I mean, look, if you used IQ on a otherwise identical population, then maybe you could see some sort of correlation. But IQ varies a lot by population to population, and it's probably not a great measure of actual like intelligence or ability to understand. But I don't know. I'd love to see somebody study this. Anyway, let us read some super chats. Yeah, no. So look, I understand, Stave. I understand I'm absolutely not making any definitive claims. That's why I'm like, this is purely anecdotal. And so I'd love to see somebody actually study this. I don't have a data set for it. Absolutely not. It's also not my field. So I would leave it to the experts to study it. You know, like if there's like a advanced undergrad, or like you know, or like a junior grad student in like psychology, I'd love to see somebody like run an analysis, not just on IQ, but other better measures of intelligence, to see like, look, is there a correlation? Is there a correlation here? What direction does the correlation go? I'd love to see this. Anyway, let's read some super chats. So from Reverend Nate with the 5 Canuck bucks, we need to come up with a word for people who think repeating the same word 200 times counts as a definition. It's a plague at this point. Yeah, it really is. Oh, somebody sent a link. Hold on. Maybe it's already been studied. One sec. pubmed.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/3713994/. Dunning-Kruger effect and flat earthers, an exploratory analysis. Okay, so cool. Somebody's looked into this. So this article aims to analyze. I'm just going to pull this up. We're not going to finish. We'll finish the stream soonish, but I do want to take a look at this and just look at this together, because it's interesting. So Dunning-Kruger effect and flat earthers, an exploratory analysis, is from a few years ago. The article aims to analyze the factors influencing belief in a flat Earth, We focus on Spain, a country that sadly has some of the most relevant figures on this topic in the Spanish-speaking world. After a qualitative analysis of YouTube videos on the main channels of the subject, a survey was carried out on 1,252 individuals. The result points to 2 conclusions. First is the presence of a considerable Dunning-Kruger effect among flat earthers. There's a significant negative correlation between science literacy overall and practically all its dimensions, and overconfidence in science in this group. The second, evaluated through a regression tree, confirms that the interaction of low scientific literacy and overconfidence is highly relevant in explaining the belief in a flat Earth. Neither factor alone is determinant, but the combination of the two, low scientific literacy and high overconfidence, leads to high levels of flat Earth belief. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, so I'll just kind of believe them when they tell me that that's what's true in the abstract. We could go look at the conclusion, but I'd have to pull it up. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is different from a lack of understanding. The question is like a lower processing speed, lower processing rate, or whatever, some way of quantifying intelligence, is that correlated with the Dunning-Kruger effect? Is that correlated with overconfidence? Because look, it could just be confidence plus literacy. Literacy and intelligence are not related. Well, they're not causative, right? This is about scientific literacy and confidence. Maybe that's the explanation. But he didn't seem overly confident. Maybe he was. I don't know. All right, we'll read some super chats. So from Opal Vectra with the €250, thank you for your work and greetings from Germany. Greetings from Germany, indeed. It's linked to specific cognitive patterns. Yeah, I don't know a lot about this. It's just like, and look, so I'm speaking anecdotally, not as an expert. They're definitely just the way that I interact with, like, for example, if I speak with philosophically informed theists, the conversation doesn't go the same way, right? Like, there can be a back and forth. We both understand what each other are saying. We might have a disagreement on something and we can analyze that disagreement, and, you know, maybe we don't end up disagreeing, but there's still an analysis there. But the last few conversations I've had today, and this is just a trend over the last few years, that's never how the conversations go with flat earthers, or very, very rarely. So it's interesting to think about, like, why is it different, right? And I'd love somebody to, like, study this, right? All right, so just some guy sent $5. I barely graduated, but I'm also an anti-physics virtuoso. That's Dunning-Kruger, right? That's definitely Dunning-Kruger. But I'm thinking more about, like, the actual, like, the underlying cause. Like, is it just normal human variation? Because, you know, oh, okay. PMC, NCBI, NLM.NIH. Oops, I missed the .NIH. Critical thinking, intelligence, and unsubstantiated beliefs, and integrative review. Does this actually refer to? Okay, well, I'll take a look at this. I'm not going to keep everybody waiting, but I'll take a look at that later. That's true. I'm also not the first person he spoke to about it, and so it could be a bad habit. That's true. That's true. From Reverend Nate with the 5 Canuck bucks, the Wright brothers made their 22nd flight because of trial and error, while everyone else failed because of math. Joe, the dishonest chud. I don't know if he was dishonest. I think he just doesn't know things. From Reverend Nate with the 5 Canuck bucks, Joe, explain the trial and error that led us to find Pluto. Take all the time you need, knuckle dragger. Let's not call people knuckle draggers, especially when they're not here. Let's not do that. And from Gretchen with the $3, is he talking to you via a Coca-Cola can then? Lol. Yeah, well, no, I don't think he was. From Virillion with the $5 Australian, here's a wheel for my argument, but my requirements, I need 4K video in 48 hours minimum. Yeah, it's rough. It's really rough. Look, so here's the thing about insulting people. A, only appropriate if somebody is belligerent first. B, you should only do it to their face. You shouldn't do it after they've left. Now, I understand that the super chats probably came while he was here, but just general, I don't know. Knuckle dragger seems like it's derogatory and not just an insulting way, right? It seems like derogatory. And Joe wasn't being like belligerent, right? I don't think that he deserved that. Well, anyway, maybe he did. Who knows? From this is. Hey, do you want mom to pack you beef skewers? Sure. I guess you're watching. Do you want me to Venmo you the $2? Like, you didn't need to send. You could have just texted me. Oh, you probably did text me. Yeah, you did. I'm sorry. It's not my brother. I don't want to dox who that is. I don't want to dox who that is because, you know, it's their private account. But it's funny though. Reverend Nate with the 2 Canuck bucks. Newfoundlanders are 30 minutes late for everything. Okay, yeah, that's probably true. I don't know. Is that like a real that a real stereotype? Reverend Nate with the $5. Can FLERFS explain magnetic declination for navigation over land? It has to be adjusted on compasses every yearish. No, they can't, and I've brought this up before. From Garain with the $5. The most common one thing flat earthers all fail at is doing mental geometry, like manipulating shapes and spatial relationships in their head. That might be true, actually. That may very well be true. From Gretchen with the $6.66. It's the Alex Jonesification of our society. The do your own research mentality has given Dunning-Kruger a huge kick in the ass, just my 2 cents. Right, but what's the underlying cause here? Because this wasn't a thing, you know, 100 years ago, right? So did something change? Did something like reinforce properties or phenomena that was already in humans? From Jack with the $5. There was zero interest in understanding. He was waiting to talk. Most FLERFs aren't listening. They have their mindset only asking gotchas only. That's true. That is a general trend. But look, that's just how debates go generally. So like, you know, you got to forgive that a little bit. And from Jessica with the 10 Australian dollars, a major element of the flat earth mindset is an inability to understand the relationship between the concrete and the abstract. But a lot of adults in the general population struggle with this thinking. That's probably true. I think that, and look, this is me being biased, but I would think that generally doing more mathematics is a good way to train that skill, right? Because mathematics is abstract. But then when you use that mathematics to solve things about the real world, you learn that there is a relationship between these abstract mathematical rules that we came up with and the real world that we live in. But unfortunately, and this is probably a failure of the education system, that's just not really taught very well. And just some guy with the $2, can I send him $2 for beef skewers too? Look, I don't think so. I think there's only so many beef skewers. But thank you guys all so much for being here. If you want to see me again, I'll be live again tomorrow. Make sure to join the Discord. It's discord.gg/drblitz, DRBLITZ. I send announcements there every day, or almost every day except Saturdays. Also, if you want to support me, and at the same time you want access to emojis and my debate notes, which have all of the relevant links and so on, in all of the relevant places, become a YouTube member. It's like $4 or $5 a month, or become a member on Patreon, again, like $5 a month, and you'll get access to the debate notes. You don't need to. They're just like my personal notes, but some people want that, and if you want to support me, it's a good way to get both. Anyway, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. I have some work to take care of. I have some lunch to eat, so I'll see you guys then. Take care, everybody.